Good morning, all you beautiful people of Mzansi. It is a fresh Monday morning. My name is Ewan Stratham. It's wonderful to be with you. We're here for 3 hours in your company to start off the week on the right way. And yes, what better way to start the week than being victorious? Come on, what a game. The Bokke showed Romania a thing or two on the field yesterday, and we're going to be unpacking all of the action with our panel of experts this morning. We are proudly green and gold this morning. We loved it. And then, of course, joining us as well, very exciting, the 5FM Drive team. They're going to be here. They are making a pit stop on their heritage tour. They must have the best job ever exploring our country, but we are going to be finding out about their experience and what it's been like exploring the wonders of our country. And then in the form of entertainment this morning, we have the very talented Bason Lars that we'll get to know a little bit better throughout the course of this Monday morning. So stick around, make yourself comfortable, grab yourself a cup of coffee, and let's get this Monday underway.
Oh, it's underway, my friend. It's underway. A brand new week. Thank you so much for choosing to dial in and join us. Good morning. My name is Graham Richards.
And I'm Zoe Brown. And look, we're on the TV today. Yay. We're on the screen for your Good Morning Post. And it is round 2 of the Rugby World Cup 2023, which is officially over with 6 weeks and many games to go. Which 2 teams would you most likely to see go head-to-head in the final, I'm assuming?
There have been so many amazing little mini matchups. I'm going to open it wide up because for me, like last night, Fiji and Australia, the Fijians won that one, which was incredible. I think all of us saw that amazing performance building. But there are certain rivalries that are emerging. There are certain kind of hoodoo sides that are putting their hand up right now. There are so many cool prospects, and we want to hear from you. Which teams are making you most excited? It can be a minnow, it can be Portugal. They've shown what they can do. It can be Uruguay. They've shown what they can do. We want to see these teams shine, but most importantly, we want to see the Springboks continue. We were debating. We thought they could push 80, maybe to 100, but we are here for the 70s. That's just fine. But let us know how you're feeling about the teams in round 2 of the Rugby World Cup. What's got me most excited? 6 weeks left of the Rugby World Cup to enjoy.
That's a lot of time.
It's a lot of time. So we're going to bring you up to speed with some of those results right now as I delve into the sport. But first, Ewan's got you covered with those news headlines.
Thank you so much, guys. It's 2 minutes past 6 o'clock. Let's run you through your news headlines for this Monday morning. Starting off with your national news, the SA Weather Service has again appealed to residents, especially motorists in the coastal towns of the KwaZulu-Natal, Western Cape and Eastern Cape provinces to be cautious. And this after high tide surges have wreaked havoc across a number of coastal communities, sweeping away cars and flooding nearby homes and businesses. Stormy weather conditions combined with a spring tide caused damage along the Western Cape, Southern Cape and Eastern Cape coast on Saturday. More details in our weather news, which follows shortly. And then more than 20 people have died in a collision between a bus and a truck in Musina, Limpopo. Now, the bus was transporting miners when the accident happened and the bus caught fire. No further details were available late last night. Meanwhile, 10 people, including 7 children, have lost their lives in fire incidents in the Eastern Cape since Friday. Also, some 50 structures at the Nompumelelo informal settlement in East London were gutted by fire. Over international news headlines this morning, the Moroccan government is ramping up efforts to restore the quake-hit historic buildings and sites in Marrakesh dating back to the 12th century. A devastating earthquake jolted Morocco on September the 8th, claiming 2,946 lives and injuring 5,674. The earthquake measured a magnitude of 6.8 and a focal depth of 18.5 kilometers, the U.S. Geological Survey said. Crumbling walls, cracked fortifications, collapsed mosques and damaged palaces are just some of the results of the recent disaster. Now, the city of Marrakesh has a record number of 950 historic sites. And the European Union has been urgently requested to help halt the influx of migrants from North Africa. Some 126,000 have arrived in Italy so far this year, almost double the figure of the same period last year. Now, the Italian island of Lampedusa, only 150 kilometers from the coast of Tunisia, has been the main gateway to Europe for thousands of migrants from Africa and Asia for some time. Now, the UN says some 8,000 people landed on the island in about 200 boats within 3 days last week. And we're going to end up with this story. When the Springboks thrashed Romania in France last night, there was one supporter whose heart was split in 2. SA-born Lucinda Gontanak. Now, Lucinda, a staunch Boks supporter, is the mother of the Romanian centre Taylor Gontanak, the son of one of Romania's all-time stars and cult hero Romeo Gontanak. Now, much like his father, Taylor is an exciting inside centre who can create moments of brilliance from absolutely nothing. Now, Gantanek Sr. represented Romania at 4 Rugby World Cups, and in 1995 he met his South African wife in Cape Town playing South Africa. And yesterday their son Taylor was wearing the number 12 jersey, just as Dad did 28 years ago. Special story indeed. That's your news headlines for the 6 o'clock bulletin. We'll be back at 7. Right now, let's get into your sports for the first time.
Oh, brilliant prelude. Thank you so much, Ewan. Let's start with the darker half of that story. In a dominant display, scrum half Kobus Reinach, he achieved a remarkable Rugby World Cup feat, scoring a hat-trick for the second time as the Springboks thrashed Romania 76-0 in their Pool B encounter in Bordeaux last night, or yesterday afternoon, rather. And then a little bit later in the match, Makazola Mapimpi also found his form again, securing a hat-trick himself, while Damian Willemse was brilliant, boosted his confidence in fly half with a try and 5 conversions. So that win sets up a highly anticipated pool-deciding showdown with Ireland at the Stade de France in Paris on Sunday. Kick-off for that one. It's the late game at 9 o'clock SA time. Then heartbreak in the sevens format. The Blitzboks faced a heartbreaking 17-12 loss to Kenya in the Rugby Africa Olympic Games 2024 qualifying tournament's final in Harare yesterday. It certainly shows how far their opponents have come. And this defeat marked a missed opportunity for the Blitzboks, undoubtedly, to secure that spot in the upcoming global event in Paris. So despite their best efforts, mistakes proved costly, and the Blitzboks fell short in their comeback bid. They had previously failed to secure automatic qualification by finishing outside of the top 4 in the 2023 Rugby World Cup 7 series as well. However, they may still have a chance to qualify in a repechage tournament next year if granted clearance by SASCOC. That features 12 teams competing for a single Olympic spot in Monaco. Just give them a shot, guys. Just give them a shot. Let's talk about cricket now, and we can revel in a brilliant performance, individual and team. A dazzling performance from Marco Jansen shone both with the bat and the ball, propelling the Proteas to a series-sealing 122-run victory up against Australia in that decisive 5th one-day international at the Wanderers yesterday. So a remarkable 93-run innings by Aiden Markram, coupled with a pivotal 109-run 5th wicket partnership with David Miller. He's been brilliant throughout as well. Rescued the team from an uncertain 103 for 4 at the start, and ultimately setting a challenging 315 for 9. Step in Marco Jansen, who had earlier smashed a career best of 47 runs of just 23 balls, and then he exhibited his bowling brilliance, and I mean brilliance, taking the initial 5 wickets to fall, causing the tourists to stumble and conclude their innings at 193 all out in response. What a turnaround. Now we turn to motorsports, and he really is also putting his hand up. I think a future champion in the making. Carlos Sainz dominated the Singapore Grand Prix, securing a start-to-finish victory. And George Russell, in a daring charge, crashed his Mercedes during the final lap from 3rd place. Lando Norris claiming 2nd place for McLaren as a result, while Lewis Hamilton, he clinched 3rd. Still in the mix, Max Verstappen, the championship leader, finishing 5th, marking Red Bull's first race loss this season. Crazy. And that's to surpass Mercedes' 2016 Formula One record of 19 wins and 21 Grand Prix. Red Bull must win 6 of the remaining 7 races. I want to say it's going to be tough, but the way he's been driving and the way the car is running, I think we can expect it. But that's where we leave our sport for about 10 minutes. We're going to continue to chat Rugby World Cup and get into all of those performances for round 2 in just a moment. Brand new day, crazy weather to report on. Let's get the latest from Ewan.
Crazy weather indeed, my friend. Now, the George Municipality, the Western Cape, says damage caused by a powerful spring tide to infrastructure and private property is estimated at millions of rands. Now, waves hit several beach towns on the Garden Route yesterday, including Herald's Bay, where damage was extensive. The conditions are expected to last for a couple of days. The National Sea Rescue Institute has warned the public to avoid the Western Cape coast due to rough seas and huge swells as well. Now, 2 people are reported to have lost their lives, and reports of damage have been received from numerous beaches, including Cape Town, Herald's Bay, Victoria Bay, Still Bay, Gordons Bay, Kalk Bay, Mossel Bay, and Knysna. Meanwhile, the Weather Service has also warned people to avoid beaches today in the Eastern Cape and along the KwaZulu-Natal coast as far north as Richards Bay. Now, the strong spring tide conditions are expected to extend to this part and last a couple of days as well. So please, if you are by the coastal areas, just take care and be safe. With that news, let's get into your temperatures right now, and we'll start off with Polokwane. That kicks off this Monday morning with 9 degrees and a maximum of 23 degrees. Mbombela starting off on 13, reaching a high of 23. Pretoria on 11 and a high of 26, and Johannesburg on 11 this morning as well, reaching a mild maximum of 24 degrees. Then in Mahikeng, you can expect a minimum of 12 and a high of 30. Klerksdorp, 8 minimum this morning, warming up to a nice and hot 31. Kimberley, 6 this morning with a maximum of 28 degrees. Bloemfontein starting on 1 degree minimum and a maximum of 27, warming up a little bit later. Richards Bay on 17, reaching a high of 23. Pietermaritzburg on 11 degrees minimum with a maximum of 26. And Durban starting off on 17 this morning and a mild maximum of 24. Mthatha on 9 degrees minimum, nice and cool, but warming up to 28 degrees. Then over in East London, you can expect a minimum of 10 degrees, reaching a high of 23. Cradock starting off cold on 4 degrees minimum, but warming up to 28. GQ, Gqeberha on 8 degrees minimum with a maximum of 20. George starting on 7 degrees minimum and your maximum 17 degrees, staying on the cooler side of the scale. Over in Cape Town, you can expect a minimum of 11 this morning with a maximum of 18 degrees. Worcester on 7 degrees and a maximum of 23. Sutherland on 4 and a high of 20. And Uppington starting off on 7 degrees minimum and warming up to a nice and hot 30 degrees Celsius. That's your temperatures for this morning. Let's quickly take a look at your beautiful morning sunrise views. We have Amira and Santon coming through. I mean, just look at that beautiful shot looking at the ombre sky. You can just see that morning is definitely brickening. We have Rajen in Chatsworth. Good morning, Rajen. She had an overcast sky today. Look at that, some of the little peaks of sun heading through the clouds there as well. Shakira out in GQ, snapping a photo of the sun peeking between the branches as well, like a painting. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you very much for sharing. Nikki out in GQ also bringing us a view of the ocean and the sun rising up and reflects all the beautiful pinks over the water. Beautiful day to start this week as well. Thank you very much for all those stunning pictures. Remember, please keep them coming. We love seeing your pictures. 063 408 8863.
Baie dankie, Strydom. Well, listen, it's time for us to help me choose the perfect outfit for Heritage Day because we are getting very excited as we head up to Heritage Day on the 24th of September. Now, let's introduce you to Woolies' one-of-a-kind Heritage Capsule collection. And for this year's Heritage Capsule, they ran a staff competition where they asked staff to creatively express what heritage means to them, and the winners got to design this year's heritage range. And now we get to celebrate our multicultural legacy in vibrant colors and prints. But of course, I couldn't decide which design to wear, so I'm asking you to help me at home. Option 1 is this printed poplin midi dress, and this one is designed by Tara Franken. So this is option 1. Option 2 is the printed poplin midi skirt, and that one is designed by Patricia Skosana, styled with a plain white frill bodysuit. So that will be option 2. So which one will it be? The choice is yours. Head on over to Expresso's social media pages and vote for your favorite heritage look. Will it be option 1, the dress, or option 2, the skirt? The choice is completely yours, and include that hashtag styled by Woolies.
Two beautiful options, great designers, and I'm sure Zoe will love them both. You go and make your decisions. Then no decisions need to be made about the Rugby World Cup round 2. Emphatically, we know who is shining at the moment. Now, a brilliant young rugby writer, Keenan Hemsby, he caught our attention, and we decided that it's time to bring him into the fold, to dig into his rugby mind, so we can find out a little bit more about all of the permutations from round 2. Then, a brand new week, a brand new you. It's time to get up and move. If you want to spark that inspiration, the best way to do it is to focus on yourself, and we're going to do that. Well, Zoe is going to take you through some incredible new movements to get the week going in just a moment. Stick around.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking around. Brand new week, and I think all of us are feeling just a little bit better about the world. Round 2 saw some massive scores being posted by the All Blacks, by Ireland, Samoa, handling Chile, a lesson on international rugby and what it takes at that level. However, it was our boys in green and gold that really impressed us with a clinical match against Romania, winning 76-0. Now, please, we are going to be having a little bit of time to delve into this with the Sports journalist Keenan Hebbensby, who I think must be struggling to keep objective during times like this. Buddy, it's so good to have you here. An incredible round 2, and I think we've been expecting something from the so-called minnows. I mean, if you qualify for a World Cup, you've got the chops, obviously, but there is a big division between the top and the bottom when it comes to a World Cup. That did not show at all. I mean, there were a couple of matches that really stood out for me. France, a couple of questions being asked. Their so-called second-string team against a Uruguayan team that had the basics down. They played rugby like a top-tier nation. Is France in trouble? Are we looking for cracks here? How are you feeling about the home side advantage at this stage?
Yeah, I don't think France is in trouble at the moment. We saw them beat a very good New Zealand side in round 1. Yeah. And also, as you said, Graham, Uruguay, they were so good, they were excellent. And we forget, in 2019, in the previous World Cup, they beat Fiji. They are a good team. They might be still classified as a Tier 2 nation, but they're a really good team. They've got a history at the World Cup. Yeah, so I think it was a good matchup. It was a second-string France team against a very good Uruguay team. Yeah. It made for a very good game.
Yeah, completely. And I think you feel for those sorts of teams thinking, can they emulate that or keep that kind of success going? Because it's going to be difficult. When players in those teams, when you look at the second strings, and we saw with the Springboks, but with New Zealand, when players are given an opportunity to put their hand up. I mean, Cam at number 9 for the All Blacks, I think might be the player of the year next year. I have a feeling he's going to be just in a class of his own. They came good. Absolutely dismantled Namibia. Obviously a terrible injury on the Namibian front. That was just, I think everybody watching was, willing to turn the game off after that. But New Zealand, they looked devastating. And we've been waiting for that click to happen, and it looked like it happened.
Yeah, I definitely think it happened. And like you said, Roygaard, what a player he is. So quick, so fast, so strong. He's got it all, and he's got Aaron Smith playing ahead of him. So what a guy to learn from.
To learn from,
yeah.
Exactly. And I think it was Aaron Smith who actually said, you guys need to watch Cam because he's going to make waves this World Cup.
Yeah, he's a great player. It was a good game, and I definitely do think New Zealand, they are still a threat in the World Cup. They had a tough first game against hosts, so and they also came off the back of getting a drubbing from South Africa. Yeah. But they are still a big force. It's a Rugby World Cup. They're always a threat in a tournament like that, so it's going to be...
Especially, when they're finding their straps in that sense. Yeah, that makes us almost more nervous for the Ireland game. 2-for-2. Johnny Sexton surpasses incredibly Ronan O'Gara's Ireland record in terms of being now the #1 scorer for a nation that, again, are starting to find form at the right time. And I think we're all on the same sort of trajectory here. But what does that make you feel about us facing Ireland next weekend? This is a team hitting its straps now.
Yeah, #1 team in the world. They are a very good side. They have played the strongest teams in both their opening matches. So we don't know if they'll come into next week's game, if they'll be a bit sore bodies, especially against a very physical South African side. So I think next week's game it sets up the next stages of the tournament perfectly. It's as we head into the quarterfinals and the semi-finals, it's a massive match determining where South Africa will play, who South Africa will play in the quarterfinals, whether it's France or New Zealand. So
and that will make a difference. Yeah. That'll make a very big difference. I think all of us saying, please, God, let it be France. The Springboks. And I don't want to call it a second-string side because it was more a testing of different combinations within the fold. Brilliant performance from Damian Willems. So obviously a try, 5 conversions. Hat-tricks all round. You get a hat-trick, you get a hat-trick. What out of that performance made you most excited? Seeing the Springboks free-flowing like that with players out of position, the 4 so-called scrum-halves playing in various positions. How are you feeling about the Springboks' depth of squad right now?
Yeah, the depth of squad is magnificent. I think it's also the adaptability of the players. We saw
Yes.
Marco van Staden came on, he played hooker, he played flank. Dion Fourie played hooker, he played flank. We've got players in number of positions that can play different positions. Damien Willem, so we saw excellent last week at fullback, excellent this week at fly-off. So many brilliant performances, and the 4 scrum-offs, obviously, it worked at treat. We saw Kobus Reinach score a hat-trick.
Second World Cup hat-trick, come
And
on.
then Grant Williams playing a scrum-off, playing on the wing, scoring 2 late tries. How great was that? So, yeah, it's all the adaptability from the different players. It's great to see. We've got strength in depth going into the tournament. I don't think we have to worry about a few injuries that's happened.
Yeah,
We've got the depth.
Grant Williams can play at hooker. We're all right. And then we're bringing Andre Pollard in just to spice things up. I mean, come on, Rusty, just give us a moment to catch our breath before you spice things up even more. And I think Willie Leroux finding his form, seeing him juggle the ball a few times uncharacteristically, but then the joy in his face when he put Makazole Mapimpi away for his hat-trick. I think he was involved in almost every try. Absolutely brilliant. How are you feeling after round 2 of the Rugby World Cup? Probably as excited as Keaton and I, then show it. And if there are those minnow teams that you want to see paired against each other or any matchups, let us know on the socials. But let's keep the fierce going.
Oh, definitely. We're going to keep the gears going because add chocolate into the mix and you've got a winner, especially in my eyes. And we're about to dive into the world where the love for rugby meets the irresistible taste of Lindor. Now get ready to score big with the Lindor 337-gram rugby sleeve, a delectable matchday treat that is as irresistibly smooth as a perfectly executed try.
Absolutely, it's a winner for sure. I mean, there's nothing better than watching the rugby together and sharing Lindor with friends, and this makes for the perfect match day dessert, easy on the and on theme with this brand new rugby sleeve. It's very exciting, and of course, the new sleeve is also great for display and eating during and after a game, especially when it becomes rather stressful. Then you'll see you're going to go in much quicker and indulge in a Lindor truffle to take that edge off just a little bit.
And you know what's quite nice on a hot day and you're watching any game? Pop these in the freezer and you enjoy them frozen. Oh, listen, it's going to change your life.
You can see Zoe, she comes with a plan.
I'm here for the
It's not the
chocolate.
first time.
If you want me to watch the game, give me a reason to watch it. And
There we go. You mean the biltong and dribbles is fine.
I'm
but
there for the snacks. Now, if you would like to celebrate the rugby with a moment of bliss, Lint is giving you the chance to win a Lint hamper to the value of 1,000 Rand. Now, to enter, it's simple. Head on over to our Expresso Facebook or Instagram page and let us know which Lint product will you be excited during, in fact, that you will be eating during the next World Cup match. Don't forget to include that hashtag rugby with Lindor, and the competition closes tomorrow, so you've just got a few hours left to enter. T's and C's can be found on our website, expressoshow.com. Which one's your favorite?
Oh,
I like the white ones.
I like
Do you
the
think they'll
golden
notice
ones.
that these are the white ones, yes.
are they? Yes.
Okay, we can't be
have-
friends because I have to share now with you. Okay.
This sounds exactly like I am talking to my kids right now and trying to fend them off my chocolates. Okay, I love that. Speaking of the kids, we're going to be caring for the kids in just a moment. In fact, giving you a dose of care to look at their overall well-being. Then the beautiful cyborg Ashley Sherwood is back, and thankfully neither you nor myself are going to be training with her. Zozo is shredding for the wedding, baby. If you want to get up with a new me for a new week, now is your opportunity to do it.
Only you can make my day.
Crouch, touch, but don't you dare pause. Because when you buy any of our favorite Clover products, keep the till slip handy and catch the Expresso Breakfast Show every weekday morning for more details on how to enter. While the Boks are battling for rugby's greatest prize, you can win your share of 80,000 Rands worth of Weber Prize. So engage and win with rugby's greatest moments, brought to you with love by Clover.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You are tuned into your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on S3. It is a fantastic Monday morning. It's all about sport. It was an incredible weekend. Right now, though, we're pressing the pause button on the sport for just a second, and we're focusing on your family's health. And understanding the importance of our kids' holistic wellness is often based off real-life experiences. But what if you had the knowledge to implement these physical health and wellness tips in advance? Now, here this morning to delve more into this topic, we have life coach Kirsty Melmet. How's it, Kirsty?
Hi.
Lucky to see you. Good weekend.
Yeah.
You watched the rugby?
Of course.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
But this is also great. I mean, we're focusing on families and it's families pulling together and showing care for one another. And this is what we're focusing on right now. First and foremost, I want to get your opinion on the importance of physical health and well-being. And I think for most of us, to an extent, we understand it, but it is always good to hear from the experts.
Yeah. So, I mean, our physical well-being is the foundation of everything. If you think about anything that you're doing in life, your physical well-being is affecting how you're doing that and how you're showing up, the energy that you're bringing, and how much, well, wellness you have, you know, how well you are able to do it. And in terms of like our basic human needs, physical well-being is, like I said, the foundation of that Maslow's hierarchy of needs is that pyramid, you know.
Yes.
It's literally at the bottom. It's like first and foremost, most important.
Yeah, and it just becomes apparent, you know, this is the way we interact with our family members, with our kids specifically, and, you know, it brings us to understanding emotional wellness, and that is also to understand the emotional requirements of those different families, because we're all different, and the quicker we learn how to unpack it, understand it, the better. So in that regard, the aspect of showing care to our family members, how important is that, especially with, you know, helping them to heal quicker from whatever it is that they are going through?
Yeah. So, I mean, back to that pyramid of basic needs, on there, the next one up is safety and security, and the next one after that is connection with others. And we are born with that need. We need to feel connected, we need to feel cared for and taken care of. And the thing is, our mind and our bodies are so closely connected.
Yeah.
So our brain is just constantly scanning, looking for threat, and when it perceives threat, it causes this chain reaction in every single system in our body. But the key here is perceived threat. So when we are looking at something, our mind is telling us, hey, this is a dangerous situation. I'm not feeling well. I'm not being taken care of. I'm bleeding, quite literally. You know, that kind of thing. And so when our parents show us care from a young age, we learn to begin to trust that actually there is safety out there. People can be trusted. We are taken care of. Those basic needs are being met. And then physiologically, there's a knock-on effect there of we're not constantly being flooded with stress hormones and all of those reactions.
I was about to ask you about those knock-on effects, because I mean, you think you're dealing with the one thing, but I mean, because it's such a holistic system, it has those knock-on effects, and it can manifest in different other various ways as well. Down to, I think, you know, just the base level. I mean, we know that we need to show care to our families, and things like, you know, especially when our kids are feeling unwell, paracetamol is always a great option for kids. It's easy on the tummy as well. But what are some of your favorite tips when it comes to the health parts of looking after, especially our family members, but also our young ones?
Yeah, so I mean, those basics of, you know, physical wellness, such as nutrition, making sure that they're getting well-balanced, nutritionally dense meals, especially with little ones, picky toddlers. I've got a 2-year-old at home. You know, sometimes you do need to sneak in the veg, sometimes, you know, but like early exposure to healthy food always sets them up for being less picky. But, you know, that kind of thing, making sure that they're eating a well-rounded diet, making sure that they're moving their bodies every single day, that they have the opportunity to get as much sleep as possible, even if they choose not to take it. 2-year-old. You know, so it's really setting them up for success in those ways with those primary health pillars.
For sure, and it comes down to that lead by example once again, you know, because if the kids see mom and dad living a healthy lifestyle, holistic health, healthy lifestyle, it will become easier naturally for them as well. Now, just quickly, we know that kids growing up, there's the aches, there's the pains, there's the fevers. Just again, the importance of showing care for the young ones growing up and how they take it further in their lives.
Yeah, so I've used the word foundation a lot, but with that's the thing, and especially with kids, we're setting them up for life. And one of their most important relationships is with their primary caregivers. So when the caregiver shows the love and the support and the kindness, it really makes them blossom. There was even a study that was done where these kids were told to bully some plants and the plants all withered, and they were told to be kind and say nice things to the other plants, and those plants all flourished. You know, the way we speak to our children matters, and it sets them up for life. It's so nuanced and it's so complex, but it's so important.
Yeah, and we need to just take that into account in terms of the importance, because life is hectic.
Yeah.
And parents get stressed, and it feeds down sometimes. Kirsty, thank you very much for the gems that you dropped with us this morning. Really appreciate it. We always want to make our kids just live easier, and after today's, I think, rather informative session here with Kirsty about, you know, the holistic approach to wellness and health, much easier. And thanks, of course, to Panado for sharing a dose of care with you and your family.
Introducing Panado Pediatric Syrup 5 ml sachets. They're really convenient to pack and easy to use, so you're always prepared for pain and fever, anytime, anywhere.
Well, it's time to embark on an extraordinary and sensational odyssey of self-transformation with a new week, new me fitness segment. Brace yourself for an electrifying and invigorating journey to redefine your physique, enhance your well-being, and unlock your full potential. Joining us this morning is fitness instructor Ashley Sherwood, and we are so ready to get into new week, new me energy, because I think we tend to be quite harsh on ourselves, and then you kind of go off the bandwagon, but it's a new, fresh start.
Yeah, so with that, you always want to, when you start with a new week, you want to first focus on the first step, not the whole staircase.
Yes.
All right, let's just grab one dumbbell. With these exercises, you can do about 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off, and repeat to 4 to 5 rounds, or just go as many as you can. All right, we're going to go into a squat, and then go into drivers around the head, and then just change the other direction. Here we go. A nice
Dumbbells are deceivingly light. They look heavy, which I quite like.
You can definitely make them heavy by working them more. There we go. And drive around the head. Nice squat, full body. All right, now we're going to go into a front dumbbell lunge and then rotate. This is going to be a bit of an ab exercise, and rotate across and then step back. Here we go, and forward again, and rotate up. Back step, nice. It's all about balance and activating the core. Yeah, so always with new step and new me, you always want to focus, like I said, on the first step, not the whole staircase. See what you can do
In the moment.
In the moment and on the day, what your body allows you, what you allow. Yeah, also, like you said, not be hard on yourself. And also find someone to hold you accountable as well.
That helps. Do you have someone that holds you accountable?
Yes, I have a coach that holds me accountable to everything, making sure that I do it on the day as well, and just also checking you on the mind space. So family member or friend, hold you accountable. Did you make it to gym today? It always helps. Okay, so you're just going to go into a bicep curl, all right, and then front, one arm at a time. There we go.
I like it when we combine workouts. For some reason, and I don't know if it's maybe an excuse more than anything else, I tend to get bored if it's the same thing over and over.
Yeah, so you always want to spice it up. You don't want to always do the same thing all the time, but just try and combine movements together, kind of make it more exciting and more fun to do.
That's what it is. It's the excitement.
There we go. All right, and now we're going to do an upright row over here and go into a side lateral raise. Here we go. Nice and focus on the shoulders.
I feel like I need to go in sync with you.
Oh, that's also the thing. You also want to be a little bit OCD with that, eh?
Now, Ashley, when you prepare for a show, when you get your body ready, when you transform, how do you adjust your mindset if you don't tick the boxes and someone who is keeping you accountable, let's say life happens and you weren't able to get to the gym like you had planned, how do you reset?
You make a way. You make sure you make a way. Even if it's late at night, I'm still going to do my cardio. I'm still going to do that. You make a plan. It's always best to be prepared, even starting the night before and just making sure, okay, cool, I've made a list, I've made that. I'm ticking off the boxes. So you definitely can make a plan.
Oh, fantastic.
Just sticking to it.
For people that want to get someone that can keep them accountable, like a fitness instructor, where can they get in touch with you?
Definitely on Instagram with Ashley Sherwood on Instagram, and pop me a DM.
Oh, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, you are invited to be popped into her DM. I'm just saying. No, but I'm joking. It's all seriousness. But Ashley, thank you for joining us today.
Awesome.
Bringing us that inspiration we need to kickstart that new week. And like Ashley said, don't focus on the whole staircase, just focus on that first step.
Maybe that first step is just getting dressed in the morning. And yes, Zozo needed a little bit of help there as well. Why? Because we are inspired by heritage. So much so we've got two beautifully, locally crafted Heritage Day expressions. Two gorgeous dresses. You've got to decide which one Zoe is going to adorn herself with today. Both exquisite. I think she would love them both. Then, of course, we're going to get into some entertainment news in just a moment. And he's back, baby. The people's champion is here. The Rock is back in the square ring for WWE. We'll get into those details in just a moment. Exquisite.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Here we go. What is happening with our celebs? It's time to dive into the world of entertainment news and catch up on our favorite celebrities and what's been happening this past weekend. And there's lots of sauce.
Yeah, man, and with a bit of spice as well, which we love. The VMA is coming into firm focus as well, which is a big thing, and a couple of local ladies absolutely shining as well. But the first thing I think that we need to focus on, ZAR being snubbed, or at least making a choice there. So we got a bit of information about ZAR and manager pulling her out from performing at the VMAs, which you would think is like the biggest opportunity that any artist can have. And the reason given, the artist being robbed by not being nominated in the Artist of the Year award category. And this despite her being having the best-selling album, SOS, which has just smashed everyone. In fact, it was #1 for 10 weeks. So we can certainly understand why there's a bit of beef. And he also noted that some of the artists who were nominated in the category, Karol G, Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, Doja Cat, Shakira, Taylor Swift, yeah, they could have won it on any year. but they hadn't actually been on cycle. So they're off cycle. Their albums haven't been released yet. And he felt that SARS SOS was being discredited for what it's done and is still doing currently. This is a business.
Yeah.
And as much as we love our big stars and our celebs and we want to pay homage to the Shakiras and the Taylor Swifts of the world, and they probably will do it again, I understand the beef there. So, I mean, back your artist.
For
I
sure.
love that.
I mean, this graft has been put in, and there's the product as well.
10 weeks against the best, and it's a really good vein in music at the moment. But it's, maybe cutting off your nose to spite your face just a little bit because you're front and center at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. And then on to our next story, one of our favorite local celebs as well, TV presenter and social media personality and rapper. We know her very well, Boity. She was on vacation recently, and she kept giving us reminders with rather sizzling photos while enjoying the warm weather and being in her kind of island girl era. I mean, just look at that. I mean, she's loving life, as we can see. And of course, the entire Mzansi couldn't get enough of Boity's savoring looks and were absolutely flooded with comments admiring her toned physique. And she's putting in the work and
she has.
Well, loving her life, man.
Yeah, man, we've followed the journey on social media. She's been very open about her trials and tribulations as well, which I loved. And the last time I saw Boity, despite all of this massive success around her, she was still really searching for that thing. And I think a lot of that stems from her own personal growth and development. She is focused on it, and she gets to revel in the joy.
Yeah.
But if you want your own social media following to feel tiny, dude, just go and look at the amount of comments she gets on one of those.
I know.
But I'm here for that. I'm here for that kind of love, man. Oh, this is a big one. He's back, baby. The Rock returns. It was a very surprising moment and a bit of a goosebumpy kind of a feel for the fans of the wrestler turned action star, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, as he made, I think, a very welcome return to WWE after, it feels like more, but only 4 years since 2019. And he did not disappoint. Look at that face.
Yeah.
So he entered the SmackDown ring through a cheering crowd, obviously. And he had an argument with Austin Theory, who is, of course, the reigning champion at the moment. And he, for his troubles, gave him a little taste of some elbow. How about the people's elbow, in fact, if you want a taste on that. But I absolutely love the fact that he is still able to step into that, guys. He still gets how important that fan base is.
Oh, man.
But look at
He's
him.
a superstar.
I think he's enjoying it more than anybody else.
And again, we'll be able to try and answer the question what The Rock is cooking.
Oh.
I mean, come on. It's good to see him back in his element.
He's big, man. Yeah, he's big. We know his insane training schedule. He'll train at like 3 in the morning every day, literally, and then again at 4, and then again at 5. But I think for a new generation to understand why so many of us are invested in this crazy sport, it just begs the question, because they build storylines.
Yeah.
You know, there's an arc that happens.
For sure.
So is he being written back in? Is this long-term? Was this just a kind of, I need a bit of, maybe WWE needed a bit of extra meat? I don't know.
We don't know. Well, he's the right person for it. I mean, like we said, a firm fan favorite. The Rock is back, baby. That's incredible. Some lekker stories to get you going on your Monday morning. Right now, though, it is that time. Let's figure out what is Zoe going to wear for the rest of the show based on your votes.
Ladies, I'm the boss. My time to shine, no time to get lost. Show them how I, show them how I.
All right, well, earlier on, we asked you what should Zoe wear. We got 2 incredible outfits to choose from, 2 looks from Woolworths Heritage Capsule Collection, and they are beautiful. They're designed by Woolies staff as well, and I must be honest, it came through in kind of, I think, unanimously that it was number 2. That definitely won. Number one. We got some comments here. Good morning, you all, from Jocelyn. Both look stunning, but I'd go for option number one. Bless you all. Freddie also says number 1 will look good on Zoe with those shoes that she's wearing. You can see he's got the vision there. Do we have more comments here? Yeah, Obeda says, hey, Zoe, you look great in anything, but option 1 is good. I like it. And Esme, also, they're going for a number 1, says the dress will look absolutely amazing on Zoe. So, without any further ado, it was option number 1. Zoe, step in here and look at that. I think Nzanzi, you made the perfect choice.
You did.
How do you feel?
I love a dress with pockets, so I am sold. But yes, it is the pockets for me. I love the flow. It's elegant.
It looks light and it looks summery and it looks comfortable.
And I love that Woolies did this internal staff competition, and how cool for the team that won and got to create this beautiful capsule wardrobe.
Yeah, and now Zoe can show it off on national TV this morning. Looks awesome. Thank you very much for all of your votes. Thank you very much for taking the time to go and comment. And it looks, I think you made the perfect choice. Well done. Well done. Zoe, yeah, you're going to rock it for the rest of the morning.
Yes,
Love it.
I will.
There we have it. All right, lots more coming up on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Stick around, of course. Celebrate Heritage Day in style with vibrant colors and prints inspired by our multicultural legacy. We have so much designed by the Woolies staff, like we said. You can shop this collection in-store, online, or on the app.
Ladies, I'm the boss. My time to shine, no time to get lost. Show them how I, show them how I.
While the extras in the background continue to enjoy Zoe's amazing outfit, we are going to be entertained. Bason Lars is here to perform just for you this morning, an amazing new force within local music. And then we're going to come to grips with the Rugby World Cup. Total Energy is going to bring us a bit of a recap, and we're going to focus on yesterday's hat-trick boy, Cobus Reinach, and what he means to the Springbok fold.
It's my feel good breakfast show.
It's your Feel Good Breakfast show, and on our stage we are joined by the super talented musician Basson Lars. Now, I love that you have taken that leap in your career, Basson, where you decided 2 years ago you're going to go into this music thing full time. A lot of people are often at that threshold where they just not ready to take that step, but you did. Talk us through what went through your mind and how did you take that leap? Because I think a lot of people will take inspiration from that.
You know, I think it was basically just, I've been playing the guitar for years now, and it's always been something out there that I really wanted to try. And last year, I just felt that I think the time is now. Perhaps take the plunge and then see how this goes. Even though even if you just take it for a year, you know, and see where this goes. So it's really just me trying to find my feet, really.
And sometimes you need to take that plunge in order to do that. I was encouraged to write a letter to myself as to why I want to take this next step, so that when those moments of doubt kicks in, you can go back and read that letter to yourself just to be reminded of your why. Did you find that ever happen with you when you decided, I'm going to go full out, I'm going to be a full-time musician? Did that moment of doubt ever creep in for you?
Of course it did, and it does, even though, you know, this is such a massive new for me. This is foreign territory, but I see it as a good thing. I think it's nice to learn new things. It's nice to be inspired by all sorts of new tricks of the trade. And yeah, I'll literally just see how this goes year by year. And the most important thing is to try and enjoy myself while traveling the country and yeah, doing my thing.
And taking it song by song. Now, you're about to perform a song called Strangers for us. Give me some context to this song.
Well, Strangers was one of the songs that I wrote years ago when I was still in varsity. It's an image of, you know, making eye contact with someone in the crowd or in the room at a party or something, and well, it's really up for interpretation, really. But it's a song that reminds you that. Well, yeah, it's difficult to say actually now.
Okay. Well,
I think let the listeners decide.
Let the lyrics speak for themselves. Well, Basson, it's great having you here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Basson Lars with his song Strangers.
Cool. Strangers dwelling in the night, awkward handshakes to the right, but there are voices that are speaking their mind. So let's shut them up before they ruin the kind. But suddenly I melt away, staring at those eyes, and ignore a cigarette lights. Some say that life is short of fair, but others, well, they don't really care. But the blood of youth that are racing through my veins knows the feeling of some of life's pains. but silently embrace the wind and let those rotten things be. Confess to the ground, your place is here with me. Just carry on your mystery, my dear. To be foolish will make us learn. We're so young, so much to earn. So come whisper your love into my ear, and please carry on your mystery, my dear. Just carry on your mystery, my dear. Just carry on your mystery, my dear. Just carry on your mystery, my dear.
Oh, what a performance. Bason Lars on your Feel Good Breakfast show this morning. Stick around, he's not going anywhere. We have two more epic performances. Right now, though, let's take another look at your news headlines. It's 1 minute ahead of 7 o'clock. Starting off with your national news headlines this morning. South African motorists reportedly face another severe blow at the fuel pumps next month, with the latest data from the Central Energy Fund, or the CEF, pointing to another massive price hike for petrol and diesel. Now, mid-month data from the CEF indicates an increase for petrol of between R1.15 and R1.22 per litre, and diesel of between R1.93 and R2.03 per litre. Now, if these prices follow through to the end of the month, motorists will see fuel prices rise above R25 per litre. And the SA Weather Service has again appealed to residents, especially motorists in the coastal towns of the KwaZulu-Natal, Western Cape and Eastern Cape provinces, to be cautious. And this after high tide surges have wreaked havoc across a number of coastal communities, sweeping away cars and flooding nearby homes and businesses. Stormy weather conditions combined with a spring tide caused damage along the Western Cape, Southern Cape and Eastern Cape coast on Saturday. And more details will be available for you in our weather news, which follows shortly. And then international news this morning, the sea ice surrounding Antarctica is well below any previous recorded winter level, a worrying new benchmark for a region that once seemed resistant to global warming. It's so far outside anything we've seen, it's almost mind-blowing, said Walter Mayer of the National Snow and Ice Data Center. Now, Antarctica's huge ice expanse regulates the planet's temperature. The white surface reflects the sun's energy into the atmosphere and cools the water beneath it. And without its ice cooling, the planet Antarctica could transform from Earth's refrigerator to its radiator, experts warn. And the Moroccan government is ramping up efforts to restore the quake-hit historic buildings and sites in Marrakesh dating back to the 12th century. A devastating earthquake jolted Morocco on September the 8th, claiming 2,946 lives and injuring 5,674. Now, the earthquake measured a magnitude of 6.8 and a focal depth of 18.5 kilometers, the U.S. Geological Survey said. Crumbling walls, cracked fortifications, collapsed mosques, and damaged palaces are just some of the results of the recent disaster. Now, the city of Marrakesh has a record number of 950 historic sites. And we'll end with this story. The Krispy Kreme store in Muldoon, Alaska, recently fell victim to a daring robbery. Now, the store manager was alerted by a rather trembling delivery driver that some black bears were in the back of his van helping themselves to donuts. He'd left the van for a short while with the back doors open, and a cheeky mother black bear and her cubs seized the opportunity and polished 26 packs of donuts. Well, if I saw the doors open, I might just do the same thing, though. Now, in the future, Krispy Kreme delivery van doors will never again be left open, at least not when deliveries are being made in Alaska. There we have happy mom and cubs for sure. That's your news headlines for the 7 o'clock bulletin. We'll be back with a final update for you at 8 o'clock. Right now, here's another look at your sports.
Thank you so much, Ewan. While we feel a little bit better about our dietary choices this morning, let's look at the choices made in the Springboks' last outing. And, they came good. A dominant display from scrum half Kobus Reinach, achieving a remarkable Rugby World Cup feat, scoring a hat-trick for the second time as the Springboks thrashed Romania 76-0 in their Pool B encounter in Bordeaux. Then later, Makazola Mapimpi also secured a hat-trick as well. While Damian Willems, he boosted his confidence at fly half with a try and 5 conversions. Really did slot in beautifully. So the win sets us up beautifully for the very highly anticipated pool deciding showdown, in fact, with Ireland at the Stade de France in Paris on Sunday. And of course, that'll very much decide whether we play New Zealand or France, most likely in the knockout round. So a very important one. Now we turn to sevens and a missed opportunity. The Blitzboks faced a heartbreaking 17-12 loss to Kenya in the Rugby Africa Olympic Games 2024 qualifying tournament's final in Harare yesterday, showing how far Kenya have come. Now this defeat marked a very much missed opportunity for the Blitzboks to secure a spot in the upcoming global event in Paris. Despite their best efforts, mistakes proved costly. The Blitzboks, they fell short in their comeback bid. And they previously failed to secure automatic qualification, of course, by finishing outside of the top 4 in last year's World Rugby Sevens series for the first time in a very long time, in fact. However, they may still have the slightest of chances to qualify in a repechage tournament next year if granted clearance by SASCOC, featuring 12 teams competing for a single Olympic spot in Monaco. Now let's bring it back home for cricket, and in a dazzling cricket performance, Marco Jansen shone both with the bat and then definitely with the ball, propelling the Proteas to a series-sealing 122-run victory against Australia in that decisive 5th one-day international at the Bullring Wanderers yesterday. So a remarkable 93-run innings by Aidan Markram, certainly leading from the front, coupled with a pivotal 109-run 5th wicket partnership with David Miller, rescued the team from an uncertain 103 for 4 early on, ultimately setting a challenging 315 for 9 total. And Jansen, who had earlier smashed a career best of 47 runs of just 23 balls, he exhibited his bowling brilliance by taking the initial 5 wickets to fall. That definitely broke the back of the tourists, causing them to stumble and conclude their innings at just 193 all out in response. Then on to motorsport, and I think we are being introduced gradually to a future multiple world champion in the form of Carlos Sainz. He dominated the Singapore Grand Prix, securing a start-to-finish victory. And George Russell, in a daring charge, crashed his Mercedes during the final lap from 3rd place. Jumping at the opportunity, Lando Norris claimed 2nd place for McLaren, while Lewis Hamilton still in the mix. He clinched 3rd. Then Max Verstappen, the championship leader out and out, he finished 5th, in fact marking Red Bull's first race loss this season. That's incredible. So to surpass Mercedes' 2016 Formula One record of 19 wins in 21 Grand Prix, Red Bull must win 6 of the remaining 7 races. Looking at their form this year, I think they could probably do it. But that's where we leave our sport for this hour. We'll touch on those headlines again in about an hour or so. The roads should be waking up. There are a few incidents that you need to take note of. Zoe's going to bring you the latest.
Thank you, Graham. And we start off with your traffic in Durban North. There's been a truck accident. It's on the M4 Ruth First Highway. The road's been closed near Virginia Airport. Please use an alternative route. And in Pardon Island, Cape Town, there's also been an accident. This one's on the N2 inbound before the M5 ramp. The left lane's been closed and it's causing heavy delays. That's your traffic. Let's take another look at your weather. And apart from warnings of rough seas and damaging waves due to an exceptional robust spring tide, the SA Weather Services has also issued a yellow level 1 warning for extremely high fire danger conditions over the Gatlopele local municipality in the Northern Cape and the Greater Taung and Mamusa local municipalities of Northwest. Meanwhile, the Parabora municipality in Limpopo has declared a state of disaster after 14 properties were destroyed in a veld fire on Saturday. It's believed the fire was sparked by high temperatures and then spread to nearby houses. The municipalities are assisting people who lost their houses with temporary accommodation, and neighbours and community members are also offering similar support. Well, let's take a look at your temperatures for your Monday morning, starting off in Polokwane. Today, expect a low of 9 with a high of 23. Mbombela, 13.23. Pretoria, 11.26. If you're in Johannesburg today, 11's your low, 24 your high. Mahikeng, 12 with a high of 30. Klerksdorp, 12.30. If you're in Kimberley, a low of 6 with a high of 28 can be expected. Bloemfontein, 1.27. Richards Bay, 17.23. Pietermaritzburg, 11.26. Durban, a low of 17 with a high of 24. Mthatha, 9.28. A sunny day in East London, 10's your low, 23 your high. Cradock, 4, reaching a high of 28. Gqeberha, sunny, a low of 8 with a high of 20. George, 7.17. Cape Town, 11.18. If you're in Worcester, 7's your low, 23 your high. Sutherland, 4.20. And Uppington, a low of 7 with a high of 30 degrees Celsius. Well, those are your temperatures for your Monday. Let's take a look at your sunrise views. Starting us off for your 7 a.m. update is Dave, who sent through this beautiful photo from Umbilo. Naresh is currently in Gqeberha overlooking the ocean and sent through the sunrise view. Ralton from East London stepped outside and shared this glorious sunrise view with us. And Ivana in Kariga showed this video of the sunrise. Look at those gorgeous colors of orange in the sky. We'll continue to share those sunrise views, and if you would love to share yours, our WhatsApp numbers on your screen right now. It's 063 408 8863.
Thank you so much, Zoe. Sure, some crazy weather out there, but also some crazy action on the field. We're talking Rugby World Cup with Mr. Lorenzo Durries after the break. Stick around. He's going to run us through some of those epic highlights over the past couple of days and also taking us through where the teams are currently, what they're standing. There's a lot to talk about, my friend.
Definitely lots to talk about.
And it's exciting. And we stick to rugby. We're going to get to know one of our players in green and gold just a little bit better, Cobus Reinach, who actually shone on the field as well.
Again.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. He played such a good match.
Yeah, so, man loves that tricks.
Stick around for that and a whole lot more on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We'll see you just now.
Crouch, touch, but don't you dare pause. Because when you buy any of our favorite Clover products, keep the till slip handy and catch the Expresso Breakfast Show every weekday morning for more details on how to enter. While the Boks are battling for rugby's greatest prize, you can win your share of 80,000 rands worth of Weber Prize. So engage and win with rugby's greatest moments, brought to you with love by Clover.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, there is love in our hearts. So welcome back. We are absolutely loving the way that this Rugby World Cup has kicked off. Sport is truly one of the pillars of unity, in our case, definitely. And how incredible that we get to witness the world come together to celebrate the art of rugby. It's kind of a beautiful game in itself. And we're zooming into an action-packed weekend with results from the 2023 Rugby World Cup with the proud sponsors and our good friends Total Energies and our very special guest. Great to have him back. Good Hope FM Sports anchor Lorenzo Durries.
Hey.
Sporting a sporting injury there, my friend.
Sporting injury. I was just, celebrating like crazy with the Springboks.
Because you've had lots to celebrate, my friend. So let's just deal with it and get it out of the way. Can I say congratulations? Because a little birdie told us, well, in fact, a lot of little birdies were chirping. You got engaged, my friend.
Did.
Walk us through that moment very quickly. Congratulations.
What do I say? I was quite nervous, though. And it was my partner's birthday, and we was just sitting on the couch. I was looking for the sympathy, after having a little injury as well, But it was myself and a little dog as well, Cola.
Cool.
And Cola's very much part of the family, and I was having a full-on conversation with Cola before I actually went down on one knee, but I managed to make it. I managed to get down on one knee, and, all she could say was, okay, and then, the tears were there on both sides.
I was going to say,
the rest came afterwards. So,
congratulations. It is a magical moment. Barbani, trust me, you'll be just a little bit less nervous for the wedding itself, but we love you, man. Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
I'm sure a brilliant weekend all round for you then on that front. Let's hone in on a very exciting round two right now. And just to set the scene, of course, after coming out on top in their game against Uruguay, winning 27-12, looking a little bit shaky though, France have secured their #1 spot in Pool A, and that's with 8 points, then followed by New Zealand, who looked incredibly good against Namibia. That's not me choking on my own words. 71-3, and they sit on 5 points, equal with Italy, also on 5 points, and then Uruguay and Namibia still on 0 points, with both teams having yet to win a game, despite showing some incredible heart. So I suppose the hoodoo side here is Italy, because they still could do something. We've seen what they've done in European rugby over the last year. It's a young side brimming with self-belief. I think they've been very much buoyed by the French performance. It's weird, but those French youngsters have inspired a lot of young players. So can Italy spoil the party, or is this looking like our choice between New Zealand and France in the quarterfinals?
Look, we would love Italy to spoil the party, eh? They've been the wooden spoon contenders in the Six Nations for many years. But in the World Cup here, they've always had that little bit of flair. They kick it up, if I can put it like that. And I think that they're going to cause an upset when playing Uruguay in the next few days. I think it's on Wednesday. They play Uruguay on the 20th. And we might just see something going all the way. But that Uruguayan team against a second-string French team, when they opened match day #2, absolutely amazing. It just shows that when you stack your domestic league with lots of foreigners, your national team can suffer. And that's a wake-up call for France at the moment.
Completely,
they do not have, they are not South Africa, they are not Ireland.
Well, you were saying most of their team comes from League 2 or something ridiculous.
D2, D3, and this is the thing, if they're not playing week in, week out, highly competitive rugby, they cannot string a second-string team together like we do.
No, look, 100%. But I think it also speaks to those structures, because the Uruguayan team is one team that's got continuity, that's played together for a long time. And I think that's what stood out for me, is watching these so-called minnow teams, the basic play, the set play, the line-outs, normally where they just get completely overblown. One of those teams that I think we expected to get obliterated, Tonga, up against Ireland, who needed to at some point prove that they're the best team in the world. So let's focus in on that, kind of what it means for us. So, of course, we've got the Bokke, 76-0. And I think we could have done more. I think we could have done 100 off Romania.
We should have.
So after week 2, 9 points, and then the bottom 3, Scotland, Tonga and Romania, all on 0 points. And I don't see that changing significantly. Obviously, the points will come. I think Scotland will beat them both. Malcolm Marx is out. It's massive. So we tested different hooker options there. Marco was great. I think everyone in that berth can do it. Dion can do it. They can fetch. They can get over the ball. I think, funnily enough, it's put more pressure on Bongi and Bonambi to do more of the other stuff.
Yeah.
You need to get over the ball, do those things. How are we feeling about our pool? Surely it's going to be South Africa at the top, Ireland at the bottom, or is next weekend going to decide that?
It's going to be a massive one. You know, Keenan said earlier as well, the thing about Ireland is that they've played a full-strength team for both games. Twice now. So the thing is there something happening in the camp that we don't know about? We might see a lead-up because there's going to be a lot of psychological games that it's going to be played between the two teams the next few days.
Hence bringing Handré Pollard back.
Yeah, and Handré Pollard coming back as well as a hooker, so it's going to be crazy. You know, seeing Handré throwing in as well. But absolutely amazing that we have someone like Dion and Marco that can interplay between flank and you know, that...
Yeah, and the skills are very transferable as well, I think, because you need them to fetch and get over that ball.
Yeah.
Now we turn to Pool C. Nothing short of thrilling this weekend. Game of the tournament. Fiji beating Australia 22-15 after a 69-year drought. You could see what it meant to the people watching in the stands. In second place on the log on 6 points behind Wales. Then we've got who are on 10 points at the moment. And then Australia follow in third, which might surprise many, with 6 points and an equal 0 then for Georgia and Portugal, despite showing some great improvement there. Eddie Jones needs to do something. The Australian fans were booing him on that field. I think he made some major mistakes with the squad that he took over. I think there are a couple of players missing there. Can he turn this around?
So the thing is, he tried calling Quade Cooper and no one answered, so I don't know what.
And that was a big mistake, not having him there.
Yeah, you need the hoops now, and there's no hoops in the team to bring everyone together because you need players that have been in big matches.
Yeah, and he is BMT. He's
full
that.
BMT. And Eddie is trying to be the Alex Ferguson of rugby at the moment. He hasn't won anything, but he thinks that he is the messiah of Australian rugby. And it's just not happening.
He hasn't done it for Australia yet.
He has not. And I think that with Fiji having played Wales as well as Australia now, coming close to beating Wales in that dying seconds with that drop ball far off on the left-hand side, they've got Georgia and Portugal. And I think that they are seeing that they're going to be making it to the finals, and then they're going to take on England, which they've beaten at Twickenham.
100%. Fear them. So fear them. Fear that mana. Fear whatever they are playing with now. And then we move to Pool D, and after game of week 2 of the World Cup Group D, topped by England, shaky as they are on 9 points. Then we've got Samoa, who showed their mettle. Then Japan, they're equal on 5 points. Then Argentina, who we were expecting so much from, and then Chile, who have shown massive improvement at the bottom with 0. Is England's performance over Japan a sign? How do you feel about this English side? Because they've needed to step up. They've proven their mettle when the chips are down, but they haven't quite shown that top-tier class yet.
Nope, they haven't. We're not seeing the 2019 England team with Steve Borthwick in charge at the moment. There's still some kinks that they need to work out, but they managed to get the win now, and they've now applied pressure to the likes of Japan as well as Argentina to perform. Argentina having only played 1 match thus far. We need them from a Southern Hemisphere point to actually get going. And Michael Shaker to figure out what's happening at the moment. They need to figure out if they want to make it and be, you know...
Well, they were favourites in that group coming into the tournament, man.
And that's the nice thing about a Rugby World Cup is the fact that you are favourites 1 week and 2 weeks later you find yourself in the bottom 2.
It's blood sport, I told you. It's an underground tourney, man. It's an underground tourney. Absolutely love it. Great to have you back.
Thank you
Congratulations
so much.
once again,
Thanks,
my friend. We are here for love, and we are here for the love of rugby. Absolutely amazing. And if you feel the love of rugby like us, you need the people in your corner to help you prepare for game day in the best way possible. And Total Energies have got you covered with some incredible rewards on offer. We know we've sent some people to go and enjoy the World Cup already, but when it comes to just enjoying and embracing game day, or in fact every day out in the South African roads, Total Energies have us covered.
Just like in rugby, it's uniting our energies that helps us move forward.
Man, it's exciting. It's exciting stuff happening.
Bets are off, buddy.
But you know what's even more exciting is that you actually really know the players.
Yeah, for sure.
In the Springbok squad. And that is what's really making it exciting. And this man, particularly, that we are going to be talking about this morning, I mean, he was just on fire.
Generations worth of rugby genes playing out there. Cobus Reinach, absolutely amazing. So I thought we'd do a little deep dive into our hat-trick scorer from yesterday. And of course, in his early days in rugby, dominant force on the global stage already. His story is one of sheer dedication and excellence. How many times have we lent on this man?
For sure, man, for sure. Now, Cobus's rugby journey began in Bloemfontein, South Africa, and took him from Grey College to the international stage. And his early career with the Sharks and the club experiences in Europe makes him a well-travelled rugby talent.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a bit of a taste of everything.
Oh, for
so he
sure.
knows how to put that together on the field.
Oh, he knows the Northern Hemisphere, and that's proving to be so decisive at this year's World Cup. So let's talk about his clubs here, and his career highlights include becoming the undisputed first-choice scrum half for the Sharks. He was a stalwart there, and then later moving to English club Northampton Saints, and then to the top 14 side Montpellier, and his consistent performances at the club. He is a legend there, an absolute legend in France and in Europe,
and it's just,
understandably.
He's unbelievably quick. So quick and responsive as well. And of course, if we take a look at some of his Springbok successes, I mean, despite not representing South Africa at the age group level, Reinach made an impactful debut for the Springboks at just 24 years old. And his remarkable journey includes memorable victories over Australia, New Zealand, and of course a hat-trick against Canada in the 2019 Rugby World Cup. And then we of course saw that hat-trick as well.
Yesterday, yeah.
Yesterday against Romania.
There are not many double hat-tricks in World Cups floating around there.
No.
And he just has that ability, as you say, to spot a break and take it. He boasts an impressive try-scoring record with a remarkable 9 tries in his 28 international matches, showcasing his ability to make crucial contributions to the scoreboard in key moments. He's one of those that when the chips are down, he will put his hand up and just do it himself. I love it.
Gets in there, get busy. Now, he was also part of the victorious Springbok squad at the 2019 Rugby World Cup in Japan. We know this, contributing to South Africa's triumph over England in the final. And of course, his versatility and skills as a scrum half were crucial to their success. And he's been an instrumental part of the Springboks and was included in the team for the Rugby World Cup in France, where we see him flourishing.
Oh, completely. I think the only person I felt for was Grant Williams, who must have been looking at him going, I could be doing that. I could be playing scrum half and scoring hat-tricks, and he got 2 of his own. But there is something about having this ladder, this chain within a team of guys who have been there. And, you know, we talk about Eddie Jones missing the Quade Coopers and people like that. These guys might not fit beautifully into the biggest system of play, but when you need the individual to put his hand up, it doesn't matter who he's playing. In fact, if he's playing against New Zealand, he probably does it more then. Plays against England in the final, that's when he steps up, and we are here for that. So Cobus Reinach, we love you, guy. Congratulations if you are awake and watching on YouTube right now. Brilliant game tomorrow. You've helped us lay down a marker for the rest of this World Cup.
Oh, well, we are also getting very excited for Heritage Day coming up on Sunday, the 24th of September. And we have got the boys going head-to-head in a bit of a booty challenge. And we have the 5 Drive team in studio. They are on their Heritage Tour. They've been on the road for about 2 weeks now, and we're so excited that they stopped over on your Feel Good Breakfast show. We'll be catching up with them, so stay tuned. It's my Feel Good Breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beauties. You can see I'm very excited and really, really happy right now because we get to connect in person and see each other's actual faces. We welcome the intrepid explorers of the 5 Drive team, Nick Hammond, Yonaka Taledi, Nadia Romanas, and Stuart Boy, if there was one more member, if Mike was here, I wouldn't have run out of breath. It's impossible. So good to have you here. They, of course, have been on the most crazy journey on the road for the past 3 weeks, unearthing our country's hidden gems and sharing them with the rest of us in some amazing adventures, living their best life, really. Good. This feels like the greatest con ever pulled off in our industry, really. You managed to convince sponsors to follow you on a jawl. You just go and you jawl, and I'm surprised that there are still hidden gems to find because you've discovered so many people and places and experiences. So first of all, how are you guys doing? You're still happy and loving each other, which is a good sign. Do these trips test those bonds?
Absolutely. No, I mean, it does, because you're on the road 24/7, and this is a relatively late start for us. What is it, like 7 now? You know what I mean? From the time that we get up in the morning to the time we go to bed, we're together. We're in the same car. We're 4 friends road tripping around a country. There's a production crew that's behind the cameras now. But yeah, I mean, it's really tiring, but it's also bonding for us. We always feel a lot closer to each other after these trips than we do before, I think.
Completely, because you go through these experiences together. Yonak, I want to ask you, as one of the newer members of the team, are they looking after you? You lied to me a little bit off air, but I thought maybe you can tell the truth.
No, they really are awesome to me. I'm the nana of the group, I always say that.
Good.
And I never feel, shy to ask for any advice or get the crew's opinion on anything. So we're very much a tight-knit family. I always look forward to having dinner with the crew. It's amazing.
And when you get older, you look back on these sorts of moments and you realize how actually important and magical they are. For me, it's the unsung heroes that you meet. It's those people that would not be known to anyone else unless you connected with them. And Nadia, maybe I want to put you onto this. So you met Rosa Ramepadi, am I saying that right?
Yes.
Just talk me through what was going on there, because that seemed like a major highlight. At the moment, the world is looking for people, a true north. And this farmer seems to be doing something different. Talk to me through that experience.
She inspired me so much. We met her in Polokwane. She had a market, like a fruit and veg market, and she was busy, encouraging people to grow their own vegetables and sustain themselves. So she's an organic farmer, and she leads this team. It's women-led. There was one man there, and he was adamant that it wasn't about him, and it was about his wife, and that's why he was there.
That's awesome.
So it was just so inspirational and encouraging to see.
Yeah, and I think those little mini green economies, so the Roses of the world, are going to lead us into the next phase of our existence. You apply energy to that, and that's where life becomes magical. Almost as magical as a birthday. Oh. Okay? When I talk about the con of the century, I think you planned this whole thing just so you could have a birthday. What was it like spending the birthday with your fam out in this kind of setting?
So it's not my first birthday on a tour every September.
I assumed it wasn't your first.
Yeah. But it's so special to have people around you that make it feel special. And I think I told the team on my birthday that this year it was also a big birthday for me. I told them that this was the best one out of all of them. They did like little extra things. Got me like a spring box, a cooler box, which was cool, and a little balloon which has floated somewhere.
It's on the moon with Mabel, the cow balloon that Jack lost.
Yeah.
She's chilling on the moon. So thank you for giving Mabel something to. I appreciate that. I absolutely love it. Yonaka, Soki?
Oh, my word.
Will you?
Now I can. I was absolutely elated when we walked out of that lesson, because I was like, I'm going to go every single dance floor, take off my shoes, and sock you around. Jude had the best dance moves. He was my dance partner, and he was leading me.
Because you need a strong lead when you sock, you've got to go, eh?
And there's this one move where I have to lean on him and lift my one leg, and I was like, I'm gonna fall. But he was like holding me, and I was like, Jude, you're the best dancer.
I mean,
well
I try sometimes.
Sure, but now you've set an expectation, okay, for the rest of his life. I love that. These trips. Yes, it's fun, and it's an opportunity for you to do something really special for your country, but has it sunk in yet why you're actually doing this?
Massively.
What is that thing? Because there is a hook here that is undeniable. We feel it. Have you been able to package that and understand why this is so powerful, dude?
Yeah, so every year we try theme the tour based on where we think South Africa's at the moment. And for us and 5FM, the theme this year was milestones. So best of, biggest, greatest, Why? Because we feel that as a country, we've moved from this idea that hope is coming to this idea that we have to create hope.
Oh, yeah.
Build our own societies, our own communities, and we're stronger when we all get together and do it. And so we've unapologetically head out into the country to find examples of people that are doing just that. And hiding in every single corner, in every single province, are innumerable examples of exceptional people that really do care and that want to legitimately build a better country.
And are doing it.
And are doing
Despite
it.
everything that's happening, yeah.
Exactly, because we're up against, it's the same like the Springboks. The reason we all love the Springboks is because they train in the same conditions that we live under. They go through the same struggles that we all go through. And when we put these things on the radio, during Heritage Month, the time that we're supposed to celebrate our country, we hope and we feel legitimately that other people are going to be able to drink from that cup. And we're going to be able to feel more proud and happier and stronger about being who we are, which is South African.
Completely. I mean, this is echoing so many pertinent interviews that I've done with amazing people. That hope notion, that's something that needs to flick in this country's understanding of ourselves. It's not something that gets given to you as a reprieve at the end of the journey once you've earned it. It's something that you start with at the beginning of the journey. It's your true north, and you've got to fight for it. You've got to fight for it, and you've got to foster it. You've got to plant it in the ground, and you've got to bring your all-female-led team, and you've got to propagate that idea, but they aren't going anywhere. I want them to think about the best spot in South Africa. Each of them have got to put themselves down, their head on the block. The Heritage Tour continues, and it's here in your Feel Good studio.
Well, we're about to tap into our own fun with some heritage. It's time for a bit of fun and games on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And today we are going to celebrate the rich tapestry of cultures that make up our beautiful nation. And what better way to do that than through food and friendly competition with our Heritage Day Boerewors Roll Challenge. Now let's get down to this mouth-watering challenge to see how well, in fact, how full of South African we can go. We're putting the gents up against each other, you and Strydom.
Can I do my walking again? So
against Graham Richards.
Really,
do your walking again. Is this now your way of being
it's a bit of a
competitive?
Conor McGregor to come in here just for...
No, that's the boerie walk.
Yeah, no, it really is. And I've been smelling the boerie all morning. I've been like, I haven't been able to focus on anything other than that.
So Zoe, what's the deal here?
So we have got some fully South African flavors. I need you to go as full South African as you can with your boerie roll in a set amount of time. As you can see, we've got our boerewors, you've got your rolls, and then we've got some cheese sauce, sweet chili sauce, some jalapeno accha, some onion, some crispy onion rings.
Lovely.
We've got some tomato chutney, some jalapeno chutney, some smoortjie over there. We've got tomato sauce, mustard. We've got barbecue sauce, mustard. Like
There's a lot here.
crazy.
So everything. So we just put everything in.
So how much time do you think you need? A minute? 60 seconds? 90 seconds?
Fine. A minute?
A minute? 60?
Do it,
you think you can put a good boerie roll together in 60
I
seconds?
was going to ask, have you cut the rolls?
Do we have to do two, or can we do one?
You can do one. No, you can do two, but it's not going to count. It's not going to... I meant it's not going to add points or deduct.
Okay.
Rather focus on one if that's what I meant. Okay. Are you gents ready?
Let's do it.
30 seconds on the clock in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Okay, here we go.
Like this.
Any
This is
method to your madness?
You see, there's a fine line with the boerie for me because you don't want to load it with too many things. So I'm going to go with a little bit of mayo as a base here.
Okay.
All right. And then
Why
we
was
go.
it not loaded with too many things?
Because no, I like a simple boerie, but it's got to have a little bit of spice. Sorry, I'm double dipping here, but it's okay.
It's okay. It's
All
all
right, you're
boerie.
allowed to.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to start with a traditional base. A little bit of tomato, a little bit of mustard, because I absolutely
like you-
love that vibe.
Painting the flag on the roll there.
Oh, yeah, that's a clever idea. I love me a little bit of spice.
Gentlemen, you have 25 seconds, but I feel like we might give you an extra 30. Let's
We
see
might
how it
need
goes.
to do
I want
that.
you to make a beautiful boerie roll.
Okay. So I know I'm being cheeky. I'm just selecting the right piece of boerie because I like a little bit of a caramelization. Wow.
7,
Where's the
6,
smootkie? Really?
5, 4, 3,
2.
1. There we go. Gentlemen, your time is up. Okay.
All right.
So
Okay.
beautiful.
Let's talk through, you and talk me through your roll.
Okay, so I've tried to create a nice little balanced flavor profile with this little boerie of mine. So I started with some good old mayo, all right? A little bit of spice.
French mayonnaise. Okay,
Some
cool. Yeah.
jalapeno chutney, all right? got that in there as well. And then, of course, a little bit of smoorkie, just for the smokiness of it. Then the wors, a little bit of more smoorkie, and just for a crunch.
Oh,
just
some
those,
onions.
Yes.
Crispy
I
onions.
think
there
you
we
nailed
have
it
it.
with the textural element. I think that's a really good
So there we go. That's my buri.
Awesome. Graham, what did you go for?
Traditional. So I'm always
Looks
starting
like a
with
mess,
thinking,
bro.
well, it must be, and it must be a mess going down your face. So a bit of, for me, it always is a bit of mustard and a bit of tomato because you want that. And I always think of my kids, like keep it simple, but keep it effective and powerful with a beautiful bit of smoky. And because I like some spice, a little bit of our jalapeno acha, which I think is
pop
great.
yours on the plate and show the camera how beautiful your buri looks.
There we go, my friend.
You can do the same if you want to.
Okay,
So the camera can zoom in on your beautiful buri. Because I'm not making this vote, I'm just saying, I feel like we need to leave this up to you to decide who's going to be our buri king. Oh, Graham,
So
sorry, I
there we
feel like
have
we
it.
interrupted
Oh,
you.
come on, really?
Oh. Okay, well,
Nice,
listen,
look at you.
both are
Goodness, look,
incredible.
wow.
I don't know how to pick a winner.
How are we going to... I mean, is it a look or is it a taste, Zoe?
Well, I'm just going to say, like, I always
Okay, I'll tell you
associate mustard with a hot dog, not a boerewors roll.
Okay, so I'm going to cut you a
Say
little
it, Zoe.
piece. Is
Just
that okay?
say it, Zoe.
I'm going to cut you a little piece.
Okay, let's go on taste. I can't judge this on look or
Okay, so
concept.
there's a little taste there for you.
Tiny taste.
The rest will be mine. Just a little bit of everything in there.
Oh, it burns.
It burns.
It's supposed to.
Burns, but it's yummy.
Okay.
I like the crunchy element coming through.
Yeah, I suppose I've grown up on a buri roll with like mustard and tomato at events.
Yeah.
That's just been my...
That's it.
Like a hot dog, I suppose, in that same flavor profile. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going purely on taste.
Go for it.
I love the texture in yours, Ewan, but there's just something about the zing from the mustard that
combo.
is the
Really?
winning combo for me.
I'll take that. Look, I'll say it, I'm not a big fan of mustard.
It's okay, man.
It's okay.
It's all right,
But Graham, did you win?
That means we have a winner.
Come on.
The buri walk. I'm going to do the buri walk for the rest of the day.
Nice.
Thank you so
Well
much. Thank
done,
you.
dude. That was
I'd like to
Well done.
thank my
Both
kids.
were delicious. It came down to flavor, but well done to that. Now
But
you...
it doesn't matter what we say in here. It's all up to you at home.
Whatever. Whatever.
Okay, we're now making it a public vote. Well, how does this sound? You can win a 2,000 Rand shopping voucher. Simply reply to the competition post on the Expresso Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram page and share your proudly South African vibe with us by telling us how will you be going full South African this Heritage Month. Don't forget to include that hashtag #GotGame. The competition closes on Monday, the 25th of September at midnight. T's and C's can be found on our website, expressoshow.com. Plus, here's another chance to win extra cash. Head to Game Store's social media pages to see what influencers you should be following this Heritage Month and stand a chance to win a 1,000 Rand shopping voucher each week. Mark your calendar for Saturday, the 23rd of September, because rugby legends Bakkies Botha will be in store at Game Menlyn in Johannesburg, along with Pat Lambie at Gateway in KwaZulu-Natal, and then the man himself, Brayton Paulser, will be in stores at Canal Walk. So if you want to meet these rugby legends, make sure you head to your nearest game on the 23rd of September. Gentlemen, how do your own booty rolls taste?
I don't know. I don't know. Are we allowed to?
I'm not allowed to.
Are we
I'm
allowed
actually
to?
not allowed to. I'm going to just take this and I'm going to keep it. No, Zoe.
Oh, you can give it to me.
Yeah, I'm going to reward you for your stellar work this morning as the best judge we've ever had on this show.
He's only saying that because he won.
Well, I'm going to dig in. Go this way.
So we always look to stars like Pearl 2C because she is so open about what works and doesn't work in her own career, and she has figured it out. She has the algorithm, how to unlock your life with data. It is accessible to all of us, and Pearl's going to show us how in a mo.
This September on Expresso, celebrate Pharmacy Month by telling us who your favorite pharmacist is for the chance to win 1,000 Rand cash each weekday with Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave. Check out the competition post on Expresso's social media pages. Tell us who your favorite pharmacist is and why, and include the hashtag sponsors of Brave to enter. T's and C's apply and can be found on expressoshow.com.
Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. You are tuned into your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, right here on S3. It's wonderful to hang out with you. And right now we're focusing, yes, on flexibility. Vodacom have launched their brand new Enhance feature, which allows you to personalize your new or existing contracts so that you can have extra access to the things that matter most to you, like more smart tech, more device care, and even more access to the internet itself. And in honor of this, we are unpacking the power of data this morning and the pivotal role of technology that it plays in our lives. So today I brought the team around the table to unpack how we used to use the power of data to enhance our careers, because it does play a massive role every single day.
Pivotal.
For sure. So, I mean, let's talk about this. I don't feel like necessarily in our kind of space and our jobs, you know, searching for jobs online is the thing, but there is a space and time for it. But I mean, we do rely heavily on utilizing the internet, right? How do you go about it? How does it impact your kind of circles?
I think for me, it's always just fact checking. I mean, we are, you know, you're in the forefront of doing conversations,
and you're just
you
being
need to
given information all the time.
And sometimes, if you're aware of the news going on, not only in South Africa, but around the world, you can often see something and be like, oh, hang on, that does not make sense. And you can go and fact check, and you need the internet, fast internet, to do that because we are live.
Yeah, for sure. And what about jobs online, boy?
You know, it's weird because we're kind of everything, everywhere, all at once. So we're working constantly. I work off my phone. So I might not necessarily be looking for jobs, but I'm constantly helping people look for work and redirecting them. And when I see that relationship with the data and how important, vitally important it is for people starting out on their career path to have access to that. But in our case, it kind of rests on the opportunities because they're always there. So you always need to jump on it as soon as it arrives. And that for me means when I leave a studio, I'm in my car, locking down those opportunities before I drive to the next thing, and then I'm in a parking lot doing it. I need to be connected all the time. So it's that data actually ties my life to my work life together. I do more on my phone than I do on my PC.
Absolutely. I think that's the case for most of us as well. But when it comes to the internet itself, we know that it's an incredible tool. How has it helped you enhance your career? Zoe, I know that you're also very much active in the social spaces.
Well, I think that definitely, you know, you tap into a different market, a different audience when you get to utilize social media as well. So I think for me, just having fast internet, it helps to be able to get your content up, to be in the moment. You don't have to wait when you're in a Wi-Fi zone. It gives you that flexibility.
I can have a meeting anywhere, anytime, baby, and I absolutely love that. But I can also connect with anyone at any time. And I've realized in this post-COVID world, you can DM pretty much anyone and set up a meeting. That first barrier to creating the relationship, to starting a project, to getting the interview, to possibly getting that next level up in your own job rests in the palm of your hand. But if that data runs out, or if you're having issues with connectivity, those sorts of things, they can make the whole thing fall down.
You immediately feel cut off as well. I mean, this is the world we live in. We are so connected to everything and everyone all the time.
So it's also constantly changing.
Yeah, and what we've seen over, you were speaking about post-COVID, is the fact that, you know, with the internet, it opened new doors with regards to remote working and, you know, the side hustle. How has that kind of influenced the way that you go about your daily lives as well? I mean, in terms of the side hustle, remote working we spoke about, you know, you can connect with meetings anytime, anywhere.
Well, I think a side hustle for me right now is just utilizing social media platforms. It actually takes up a lot of time. It takes up a lot more time than I thought. And it's also a lot of fun to be able to I want to use the word lightly, but play in that space.
For us, and maybe this is echoed by all of you, because we're not a big company, we're an individual business unit. So there's multiple disciplines happening. Connectivity. The fact that you can connect to a strategic network, and if we think of how all of us pulled ourselves out of the dark period, and we talk about that COVID gateway that we all had to go through from a business sense, most of us were reborn after that based on our strategic network and how to leverage those relationships. And if I look at that now, my phone is constantly buzzing and humming, and I think it frustrates my poor wife because I'm constantly looking and working and sending emails and doing things, but it's because if I need to, I can connect to whoever I want to in that strategic network and leverage that, and that's a massive
Absolutely. Well, it just becomes apparent again how incredibly important being connected is, especially
Yeah.
in our
Vital, yeah.
spaces as well. It really is. And on a very exciting note, we have some good news for you. With Vodacom, you can enhance your new or existing contract to access smart tech like Buds, smartwatches, Xboxes, and even a mini UPS. Now, to stand a chance of winning 3,000 Rand in cash, all you need to do is tell us which smart device you choose and why. And you can share your answer with us on the Expresso Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram pages using that hashtag #EnhanceWithVodacom, and you could be our lucky winner. And then for all the T's and C's, you can visit expressoshow.com. It's right there for you. Good luck.
Streamers, enhance your binge sesh. Choose from a range of benefits to add a personal touch to your contract. Get always on LTE for only 339 Rand per month over 36 months. And enhance your experience with the Volcano Mini UPS for 19 Rand per month for uninterrupted home internet. Plus, the router is included. Available in-store or online. T's and C's apply. Further together, Vodacom.
Well, this morning on your Feel Good Breakfast show, joining us is actress, model, and producer Pearl Thusi. Now, she has starred in acclaimed local films and series and a number of international productions. And along with all of her achievements, she's also enjoying traveling and loves being a mom. Now, we're connecting with her to catch up about her recent getaway with her daughter to Mozambique ahead of tonight's episode on The Insider Essay. Pearl, good morning.
Hey girl, I'm just laughing at myself right now because I look ridiculous, but I'm not feeling well. But I didn't want to miss the opportunity to talk to you today, so it will be.
It's just the two of us. You rock your glasses. I love it. You're actually making me feel like, are you still on holiday? I feel like I need to ask you that question.
No, I just came back from another holiday.
Okay.
I went to other places, so yeah, but yeah.
Oh, I want your life. I want to be on holiday too and get back on a holiday and go on another holiday. But Pearl, let's talk about your most recent trip to Mozambique. I feel like it's one of those spots where it's just across the border and we often forget about it. But when you're there, we're like, why don't we come here more often? How was your time in Mozambique?
It was absolutely incredible. I mean, I've been to Mozambique twice before, but not a trip that was as exciting and extravagant and as busy as this one, because we went to a few places, but I got to discover so much with my daughter. And she was so excited, and I think she really enjoyed it more than I did even. But I really had a good time. There are comfortable places. There are very sophisticated, extravagant places. The service is incredible. A lot of people were speaking Zulu there, so it was easy for us to communicate. But yeah, the Insider really showed up for us, and we were so happy.
Oh, you know what? You are making core memories with your daughter right now. I mean, one of these days, she's going to be off to university or, you know, going on her own career path, and you get to have these holidays and special moments with her. Tell me about your visit to the luxury eco-retreat of Azook Lodge. The two of you got to spend some time there.
Oh, wow. It was incredible. I think for me, what I got out of it was life lessons, you know, just from observing the place. And I think that's the beauty of just African holiday resorts, is there's still that essence of just life lessons all around you. You know, watching the tide come in and out in over there was really unbelievable for me, and it just gave me a reminder that, you know, sometimes in life tides are going in and tides are coming out, and you've got to just learn how to roll with those type of punches. Tando loved the amenities they had there, like the hammocks and those hanging baskets that you can sleep in, and there was so much to do just nearby and all around, like snorkeling, and there was a beach club not far away from there that we could go and visit, and just the way they situated the place so that you could enjoy the natural surroundings was really powerful, and I would be happy to go there anytime.
Oh, I think it's so special. Can you believe you've got a 16-year-old? Like, your baby girl is 16.
Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. Her birthday was now on Thursday, and it's really incredible watching her grow into, like, the 16 means a lot for her than I even imagined, and she's growing into herself, and she's growing into this beautiful young woman, and I can't wait to see how she continues to blossom and make a difference on this planet.
Oh, well, she's got a very inspirational role model. Her mom, of course, she's going to blossom beautifully. Now, one of my favorite actresses, Queen Latifah, recently gave you a shout out on social media. How was that moment for you?
Unbelievable. I was in Dubai when I saw that message, like in a club or something, and I just saw because my friend sent that to me, and I couldn't hear anything, but I just thought, oh, he must have sent it to me by mistake. Then when I left and I listened to it again, I was actually with Lorna Maseko, where I was with her that day, and I got the message, and I listened to it. I immediately started crying. Like, I started crying. I journaled about it. It was a beautiful kind of moment for me because I was feeling quite low at the time as well. So it really made a huge difference. And Queen Latifah is iconic. She's a legend. She's done some work that I really think about when I think of my vision board and the work that I plan to do. So for someone like her to have known I exist without me even having met her meant so much to me.
Oh, your star is shining bright, and we are so proud that you are flying that South African flag so high. Pearl, we are so excited to see your episode tonight on the Insider SA. Any sneak peeks on what you can reveal, what you and your daughter are getting up to?
I learned how to paddle standing up. So we got to this place and we had to wait for the tide to come in. But by the time when the tide came back in, it's just unbelievable because the water's so strong and intense, it could carry you away, so just watching that is incredible. But I learned how to paddle I forgot what it's called, but you paddle standing up. And but I didn't think I could do it. Everyone was pretty worried, but I managed to stay on the paddle for quite a while. Never fell even once. Picking up shells and just swimming together. There was a beach there that came in with the tide, and we got to just be the only people on that beach, and that was a beautiful moment of solitude for us as well. What else did we get up to? Then we had this bathtub there that I was completely obsessed with. And on this bar, it's on the outside, and I actually am going to try and build one here in my house. It's like a bark that they've lined up somehow so that the water can stay in there. It's a bubble bath, and you can look at the moon, and the moon was full that time. It was just before the supermoon, and you can just hear all the beautiful sounds of nature. And Tando and I had some really beautiful conversations in that bathtub. So that was my favorite thing, actually.
Oh, well, listen, thank you for allowing the cameras to be in that beautiful moment with you and your daughter. We are really looking forward to tonight's episode, but thank you for taking the time to catch up with us.
An absolute pleasure. So lovely to see you. Can't wait to, hopefully I'll see you when I'm back in Cape Town.
Oh,
Bye,
thank you, Pearl. Well, listen, do not miss out on tonight's episode. This Mozambique getaway right out of Africa with Pearl and her daughter is sure to be spectacular. Thank you once again to Pearl for sharing her travel experiences with us and broadening our understanding of there are still a lot to see and explore on our very own continent. Now, remember to tune in to the Insider SA this evening to join Pearl for an exclusive look into Mozambique.
She couldn't look more like an international celebrity if she tried.
Right.
The less she tries, the more she looks just like an absolute superstar. Part of our modern heritage, and heritage is something that we create every day, and the 5 Drive team are doing just that. The Heritage Tour is
man, they've got the best job in the world, I'm telling you, hey, exploring our backyard. And then, of course, we said that you can win a Weber. Right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, we have 5 winners to announce. Stick around. All of that, more after the break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
So we've got the 5 Drive team here, actual professionals at what they do. No, shame, Nick was like dying to have a proper job on TV, so we thought we'd give him just an opportunity right now. Go for it, man.
Here I go. Next on the Expresso show, we're going to catch in with your latest in news. It's 8 a.m.
Is it? 8.
Is that right? Is that what we're supposed to do?
Wow. Not too good, eh? Not too good.
That was brilliant. That was brilliant. Thank you very much. Let's take a look at your news headlines. It is 8 o'clock. In your national news for the last time this morning, the Labour Court has granted the city of Tshwane a permanent interdict against its striking employees. Provision of services in the municipality has been severely affected since July after some employees embarked on a strike to force the city to honour the last year of the 3-year wage agreement for 2023-2024. Now, the municipality said it trusted strikers would respect the court order and return to work. And SA motorists reportedly face another severe blow at the fuel pumps next month, with the latest data from the Central Energy Fund, the CEF, pointing to another massive price hike for petrol and diesel. Now, mid-month data from the CEF indicates an increase for petrol between R1.15 and R1.22 per litre, and diesel of between R1.93 and R2.03 per litre. Now, if these prices follow through to the end of the month, motorists will see fuel prices rise above 25 Rand per litre. Then over to international news for the last time this morning. Egypt has inaugurated a newly restored Ottoman mosque built by the 16th century governor Suleiman Pasha al-Qadim that lies in the citadel that's dominated Cairo's skyline for centuries. Now, the mosque with 22 green tiled domes is Cairo's earliest Ottoman mosque, built in 1528 AD, 11 years after the Ottoman army under Sultan Selim conquered Egypt. Now, the 2,360 square meter mosque complex lies on the site of the Fatimidera tomb of Syed Saria, built in 1140 AD, which still stands. And the ice, or rather the sea ice surrounding Antarctica is well below any previous recorded winter levels, a worrying new benchmark for a region that once seemed resistant to global warming. It's so far outside anything we've seen, it's almost mind-blowing, said Walter Mayer of the National Snow and Ice Data Center. Antarctica's huge ice expanse regulates the planet's temperature. The white surface reflects the sun's energy into the atmosphere and cools the water beneath it. And without its cooling, the planet Antarctica would transform, or could transform, from Earth's refrigerator to its radiator, experts warn. And we'll end up with this story this morning. When the Springboks thrashed Romania in France last night, there was one supporter whose heart was split in two, South African-born Lucinda Gontanek. Now, Lucinda is a staunch Bok supporter. She's also the mother of the Romanian centre Taylor Gontanek, the son of one of Romania's all-time stars and cult hero Romeo Gontanek. Now, much like his father, Taylor is an exciting inside centre who can create moments of brilliance from absolutely nothing. Gontanek Sr. represented Romania at 4 Rugby World Cups, and in 1995 he met his South African wife in Cape Town after playing South Africa. And yesterday, their son, of course, Taylor, was wearing the number 12 jersey, just as Dad did 28 years ago. That's the news headlines for the 8 o'clock bulletin right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Right now, let's take a last look at your sports.
Thank you so much, Ewan. Let's kick it off with rugby, the good news. The darker side of that story that he led with there in a dominant display. Scrum half Kobus Reinach achieved a remarkable Rugby World Cup feat, scoring a hat-trick now for the second time in a World Cup as the Springboks absolutely thrashed Romania 76-0 in their Pool B encounter in Bordeaux yesterday. Then a little bit later, Makazole Mapimpi repeated the feat, securing a hat-trick of his own, while Damian Willems continued his brilliant form, boosting his confidence at fly half with a try and 5 very confident conversions. And of course, Andre Pollard is being sent in as a fly half as well to shore up that berth even more. The win sets up a very highly anticipated pool deciding showdown with Ireland at the Stade de France in Paris on Sunday. Kickoff for that one, it's the late one, 9 o'clock SA time. And now, unfortunately, we turn to sevens, and the Blitzboks faced a heartbreaking 17-12 loss to Kenya in the Rugby Africa Olympic Games 2024 qualifying tournament's final in Harare yesterday, showing how far Kenya have come. Now, this defeat marked a golden opportunity missed for the Blitzboks to secure a spot in the upcoming global event in Paris. So despite their best efforts, mistakes proved costly in the end, and the Blitzboks fell short in their comeback bid. They had previously failed to secure automatic qualification by finishing outside outside of the top 4 in the 2023 Rugby World Cup 7 series, and that doesn't happen very often. However, they might still have the slightest of chances to qualify in a tournament next year if granted clearance by SASCOC. That'll feature 12 teams competing for just one Olympic spot in Monaco. Let's hope they get the nod and the budget. Now let's turn to cricket, and in a dazzling performance, Marco Jansen shone both with the bat and the ball, propelling the Proteas to a series-sealing 122-run victory against Australia in that decisive 5th one-day international playing out at the Bullring. The Wanderers yesterday. So leading from the front, definitely a remarkable 93-run innings by Aidan Markram, coupled with a pivotal 109-run 5th wicket partnership with David Miller, rescued the team from an uncertain 103 for 4 early on, ultimately setting up a challenging 315 for 9 total. Then Jansen, who had earlier smashed a career best of 47 runs of just 23 balls, exhibited bowling brilliance, taking the initial 5 wickets to fall. That obviously broke the back of the tourists, causing them to stumble and then ultimately conclude their innings at 193 all out in response. So a fantastic turnaround from the Proteas. Now we turn to motorsport, and a rare opportunity for someone else to get a win. And I think this man, we're going to mention his name a lot as a future champion. Carlos Sainz dominated the Singapore Grand Prix, securing a start-to-finish victory. And there was some spice involved. George Russell, in a daring charge, crashed his Mercedes during the final lap from 3rd place. Jumping at the opportunity, Lando Norris claimed 2nd for McLaren, while Lewis Hamilton clinched 3rd. Then Max Verstappen, the championship leader out and out at this stage, finished 5th, marking Red Bull's first race loss this season. So to put it into perspective, to surpass Mercedes' 2016 Formula One record of 19 wins in 21 Grand Prix, Red Bull must win 6 of the remaining 7 races. Looking at their form this year, I think Max can do it. But that's where we leave our sport for this inspirational Monday morning. The roads should be up and running by now. Zoe's going to get you to work safely.
Thank you, Graham. Let's start off with traffic in Montague Gardens, Cape Town. There's congestion on the N7 northbound at Bosmansdam Road. Expect delays and add extra travel time to your journey this morning. In Durban North, there's been a truck accident. It's on the M4 Ruth First Highway. The road is still closed near Virginia Airport, and there are now heavy delays in and around the area. Please use an alternative route. And in Pretoria, there's been a multi-vehicle accident on the N1 northbound at Garsfontein Road. The left shoulder is closed. Please drive carefully. That's your traffic. Let's take a final look at your weather. And we start off with weather news. The George municipality in the Western Cape says damage caused by the powerful spring tide to infrastructure and private property is estimated at millions of rand. Waves hit several beach towns on the Garden Route yesterday, including Harold's Bay, where damage was extensive. The conditions are expected to last for a few days. The National Sea Rescue Institute has warned the public to avoid the Western Cape coast due to rough seas and huge swells. 2 people are reported to have lost their lives. Reports of damage have also been received from numerous beaches, including Cape Town, Harold's Bay, Victoria Bay, Stilbaai, Gordons Bay, Cork Bay, Mossel Bay and Knysna. Meanwhile, the Weather Service has also warned people to avoid beaches today in the Eastern Cape and along KwaZulu-Natal's coast as far north as Richards Bay. The strong spring tide conditions are expected to extend to this part and last for the next few days. Well, let's get into your temperatures for today, starting off in Polokwane. Your low is 9, your high 23. Mbombela 13 with a high of 23. Pretoria 11.26. Johannesburg 11.24. A sunny day in Mahikeng 12 with a high of 30. Klerksdorp 12 with a high of 30. Kimberley 3, in fact 6. That's your low. 28, that's your high. Bloemfontein 1.27, Richards Bay 17.23, Pietermaritzburg 11.26, Durban 17 with a high of 24. A sunny day in Mthatha, 9's your low, 28 your high. East London 10 reaching a high of 23, Cradock 4, 28. Gqeberha 8 with a high of 20. A sunny day in George, 7's your low, 17 your high. Cape Town 11 with a high of 18. Worcester 7, 23. Sutherland 4 with a high of 20. And Uppington sunny with a low of 7 and a high of 30 degrees Celsius. Well, those are your temperatures. Let's finish off the morning with your sunrise views. Starting off in East London. Delish said this beautiful sunrise view. Look at all those orange tones in the sky. Eliza in Gauteng is enjoying a morning stroll and shared her sunrise view with us. Nirmala in Gauteng is enjoying her garden and shared that sunrise view. And Joan from North Beach is watching the surfers about to head out for their morning surf and shared this beautiful sunrise view with us. We'll continue to share those views. We'll show more tomorrow morning at 6. Our number is 063 408 8863.
I'm still lamenting the fact that I didn't get to eat my own buri roll, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed that prize-winning buri roll. But I am buoyed by the fact that we got Nadia and the 5-Drive team here. So what are we doing now? Go.
We'll bring you more 5-Drive highlights after these.
Yay. And then we're going to give away 5 Weebers. Stick around.
Crouch, touch, but don't you dare pause. Because when you buy any of our favorite Clover products, keep the till slip handy and catch the Expresso breakfast show every weekday morning for more details on how to enter. While the Boks are battling for rugby's greatest prize, you can win your share of 80,000 rands worth of Weber Prize. So engage and win with rugby's greatest moments, brought to you with love by Clover.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso on S3. It's a fantastic Monday, and it's wonderful to spend some time with you right now. It's also wonderful to spend time with the 5-Drive team, because they are here in studio with us to spill the beans on their thrilling heritage tour adventures. have the best job in the world, guys. Come on, you are really getting all that envy from us this morning. It's wonderful to have you guys. And it looks like it's going well with you guys as a team as well. Huh? You guys are gelling, so lekker.
Yeah, we really are. We're in super good gear this year, and we're all getting along, and I feel like bonding through the experience.
Yeah, and I mean, it must be nice. I mean, to have that as a team and able to explore our backyard and be on the road.
Kidding me? We've got the most beautiful country in the world. We legitimately do.
No, I agree with you. I fully agree with you. Let's talk about some of your highlights. We're going to take you back to KZN very quickly. I want to go to Tembelihle School. Apparently there's a fantastic story connected to the woman as well that runs it.
You have no idea. So we meet this woman who has already achieved more than anybody should in one lifetime. She's a geneticist, and she has done pivotal work to change laws in South Africa to make it a safer country. Despite retiring and kicking back, she goes, my community needs help with education, because she sees people affected, people that aren't getting a good opportunity to actually like upskill themselves in life. So she builds a school, are you kidding me? And like does it for people in an area where they otherwise would have gone hungry, they otherwise would have had to attempt to learn in incredibly difficult circumstances, and she builds this world-class institution. We, through her, get to meet a young girl by the name of Sitle, who's actually gone through this process. So having been taken from the community where she was being educated in really bad conditions and gets put through this beautiful school, and has now become an auditor and has decided not to take her own life into the big bad world, but rather to just come back and give back to that school again.
Incredible.
And that sort of culture of plant a seed, it grows, and then plant more seeds is very South African. And to see that firsthand was just wonderful.
Sure, and I can only imagine how that whole community has changed and benefited from that one action.
Yeah.
And I think that's golden stories, man. This is what we live for, our South Africans as well. Jude, I want to come to you. I mean, you can't go to KZN and not have a bunny chow.
Oh, it was
You said
amazing.
you found the best one yet.
So I like this new, I don't think it's new, but we covering food a lot, and obviously there's different kinds of food attached to certain parts of the country. Of course, the bunny chow in KZN was, it reminded me of home, coming from a coloured background. We do have like curry influence, but it's not the same as a Durban curry. But yeah, the bunny chow was delicious. Ate the plate as well.
I can fully see you do that, my friend. Listen, yeah, you guys are getting up to all kinds of adventures, Yonaka. Something that stood out for you, take us through your experience, the Centre for Entrepreneurship Rapid Incubators, and that was in Bombela.
Yes, we met this lovely young gentleman. His name is Penwell, and he's absolutely bright. And I'm a student myself, so I get very shocked when I meet students that are just so forward-thinking and futuristic. And he created this app that helps give access to people in rural areas to services we take for granted in metropolitan areas, just a food delivery service, something like that. So he's very on it. He's a programmer, and it was absolutely amazing because we met other entrepreneurs as well in the space, and every single one of them is just concerned about how to make their community better. They're not doing this for profits. They're not doing this to make a name for themselves, but how can they make other people's lives better? It's just so inspiring, you know?
Yeah, it connects to similar stories. It really is. We do things because we want to really uplift our fellow person next to us, and that's kind of true to who we are as South Africans, because I know that, you know, maybe I want to ask you this, Nadia, you know, you guys are going through this incredible experience. You get to meet incredible people and see institutions, sometimes what we don't even know about, and that's why it's glad you guys are telling us those stories. But in a general sense, with everything going on in South Africa, there's a lot of negative in our space as well. But you guys experiencing something completely different. What does it tell you about us as South Africans, as a nation, now that being on the ground and being in touch with these different communities and cultures?
Sure, I feel like it tells you that South Africans are still like proudly South African at heart. It doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter if we're having load shedding or other problems. It's at the end of the day, everyone is still proudly South African, and everyone is friendly. And we have such an incredible, beautiful country, and so many people to be proud of. Our food, our cultures, just the whole experience that we've had has been absolutely mind-blowing. And the people that we've met, we ask every single person about their milestones in their life, and everyone's answer has also blown me away, because it's always about other people and how they want to help other people and inspire. And I think it's just, it's brought us, it brings you down to earth.
For sure, we have an incredible amount of kindness amongst our people, and that is what is nice, because it's difficult. We see in the media, you know, South Africa and everything going on is portrayed as a certain way, and it's difficult. And I've got my mom-in-law phoning out of Hungary. It's like, are you guys okay? And But in the general sense of things, we are such a loving nation, and you guys get to experience that.
Yeah,
now you're on your way again.
We're going to be okay as a country.
We're going to be okay. Nick Cameron said that, exactly. So listen, stick around. The 5 Drive team, they will still stick around. Nick's going to be joining me in the kitchen as well. We're going to make some pasta, dude.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be lekker, so don't go anywhere. And we're going to test their, test their knowledge around South Africa, so stick around for that.
Oh, listen, that might be a bridge too far. I think we found the most South Africans we've ever had on our show, so I cannot wait to see them stand up to the test. But I think, speaking to the heart of all of us, the love South Africans have for a good braai is undeniable. We've already braaied already, and thanks to Clover's amazing competition, where 80,000 rands worth of Webers were up for grabs, the excitement has been literally sizzling over the past few weeks. Now it is time to reveal the first 5 lucky winners. You're getting a Weber, baby.
Ooh, well, you need to know who you are. So let's say a big congratulations to our winners. Our first winner is Sylvia. Well, it's going quite quickly, but you can see the winners right there on your screen.
I'm going to go through those names again. Sylvia, Kanyana, Junior Sabeko, Balile, Sibanyoni, Sindasile, Damoyi, and Prudence Buddha. Congratulations. Can we get a round of applause? You be Brian, baby. You be Brian for the rest of this year on your very own gorgeous, brand spanking new Weber Bride.
Now, if your name wasn't announced this morning, do not fret, because Clover still have a total of 13 Webers to give away over the next few weeks. Now, all you have to do is buy any one of your favorite Clover products. Keep your till slip handy, dial *120 *560#, and follow the prompts to enter. Now also keep that till slip handy. It really is that simple to enter. And stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast Show daily to find out more information. There are T's and C's that apply, and those can be found on clover.co.za.
But congratulations to all of our winners once again. You've won yourself a Weber. Well done.
Epic stuff. Thank you very much, and congratulations. We're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, it's all about money matters. We're talking about how do you spend your money online. We give you some very valuable tips as well, and then we're going to jump into the kitchen. Nick is going to join me as well from the 5 Drive team, making a beautiful black pasta with char grilled chicken. It's a trending recipe for a trending color. Stick around.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back, you beauties. Thank you so much for being here for such a beautiful, inspirational, positive start to the week. But now we're going to get real for just a moment and talk finance. And these days, you can shop online for absolutely anything. I doubt there is anything that you cannot find. Clothing, tech, cosmetics, pet food, groceries, even a quick takeaway coffee, whatever it is. Convenience has come at last, but it does come at a cost. So in today's Our Money Matters chat, we want to know, or at least I want to find out, if you are willing to pay that price. And we'll put that question to you guys online as well. But I thought let's start with the team here to find out, because you are both very reasonable thinkers, okay? Now you've got it together, okay? And I lean on both of you quite heavily for this way of thinking, okay? So I'm going to put a couple of questions to you guys, and as always, I want some honesty here and apply it to your own life. So I want to first of all find out, Zoe, I know you do. Do you shop regularly online, and what do you buy the most?
Yes, I shop online regularly. Funny enough, the thing I buy the least is clothing. I prefer to try it on.
Oh, for sure.
But everything else, if I can buy it online, it's just the convenience. So, yeah.
It is the convenience that gets it for you. Gibbies?
Dude, I do like to shop online, but I like to shop online for some, gadgets and things that I need at home or for the garage. I bought a tire pressure monitor
as one does,
recently, as one does, so those kind of things. Some more techie things I like to buy online.
I think a barrier here is there will be a fee, and often we buy online because we're looking for a good deal, generally, but if it becomes your mode, okay, the delivery fees can weigh in. Have the delivery fees ever prevented you from going through with a purchase?
Yes, it has. I once bought something that I could only find in Johannesburg, and it wasn't very expensive, but the delivery fee was more than the product. I was like, nah, I'm not paying that.
I don't need it.
Yeah, pretty same boat as well. If I can, I'll opt to collect it. Myself, which is easier. I know I can get it, but also now if we did the story about the news, the petrol prices going up. It all affects these things. It all affects delivery fees.
You're going to start buying petrol online from another.
I'm going to start selling petrol online.
You wouldn't be alone.
I'll charge a delivery fee on top of that, proper.
I think we've all changed the notion of how we buy online. And a big thing for me during COVID, I had to get used to buying fresh groceries online. It freaked me out because I wanted to see it and wanted to smell it and wanted to know it was fresh. What is something that you refuse to shop online for? So what is something that you draw a line for?
I haven't... I honestly haven't found that thing yet. The only thing for me is sometimes with clothing, I'm not always the same size with everything, even with shoes. I need to try it on.
That's different.
And then it becomes a hassle to return and all of that. So I think that's where I'm struggling. But the nice thing is I often go into the store, try things on. I'm undecided, but then I know what size I am. And then I go and order online.
I like that.
Yeah, pretty much the same boat. I don't think I've ever bought clothing or shoes.
I tried to once, but then the delivery fees.
The delivery stopped you. Yeah. So for me, it's the same thing. I need to try things on, I'm kind of old school like that. I haven't really groceries and those kind of things. It's nice. I would like to go and get my own groceries. It's I don't know, the old school way of thinking.
I love that. I'm like, let's... The thing is...
Zoe wants a fridge to buy her groceries for her. You would do that. I imagine because you know what you want and what you need, and you would automate your life.
You can do anything online except have a baby. So, I'm there for it.
Don't even put it out there, Zoe. Don't even put it out there.
You can get your house cleaned. You can get a ride. Everything online except...
Everything.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that's only a step away. I have a feeling it's only a stepping stone away. And spending time versus spending money is always going to be a balancing act, a tricky one to wrap your head around. But if you're looking to save every single cent where you can, which I think we all are right now, then the Nedbank My Goals account is what you want. We have gone into great depth at how much you can get back on everyday kinds of spends. You get cash back on your groceries, on your petrol, people. And I know I go on about this one a lot, but it does make a big difference. You can save 50% at New Metro. And I think a lot of us have been preventing ourselves from going to go and watch a movie or doing those luxuries of life. So to view the long list of benefits and ways that you can save, visit the Nedbank Money app and do it right now.
Mabel, check this. With a My Goals premium account, you get 12 free airport lounge visits.
12?
Yeah.
God, David, when are you busy planning your next getaway during office hours? Aman.
Right. Right, jumping into the kitchen right now, and here's the thing. Federico Fellini once beautifully expressed, and he said, life is a combination of magic and pasta, and what could be more enchanting than experiencing the rich tapestry of the savannah through your culinary adventures? Well, today we invite you to rediscover Plascon's spring color palette as we translate their Rhine Castle shade into a masterpiece, hopefully capturing the essence of this hue on your plate. And I've got Nick Hammond, it's my sous chef.
Yes.
Are you ready, my friend?
No, let's go.
Me neither. Okay.
I'm excited.
So we're going to start by making the sauce, but have you ever had black pasta like this?
I have had black pasta like this. This is dyed with charcoal. Did you know that?
It is,
You could use squid ink or various other mechanisms.
Look at
but
this,
that's what
man.
we've gone for today.
Okay, look, I'm testing you. So let's make a little bit of a mushroom sauce first and foremost. Okay, so I'm going to start with this, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you what to do.
Okay.
You're going to make the pasta.
Oh, great.
Okay, so we have some flour here. All right, and we have some oil, the charcoal, and you're going to crack these eggs in there as well.
Okay, all right.
So you do that,
doing that
while I start sweating some onions here.
Did you know that eggs were invented in the 1970s?
Really? Were they invented in the 1970s? That's interesting, Nick. Is this one of the tales that you picked up amongst your travels?
This is something we learned recently. No, but this is amazing because we actually legitimately haven't had breakfast yet. So I hope this is one of those cooking shows where I can actually eat it up.
Okay, we need something to mix it with.
I can just go for it.
You can if you want. Go for it. Go for it.
So.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it. Look at you.
This was a highly impractical decision.
Yeah, it was. But you're doing a good, because actually there is some stuff behind us.
Oh,
but
great.
you could keep going. Keep going.
Oh, well done, Nick.
Yeah, no, keep going.
Good idea.
Nick likes to get his hands dirty.
Well represented of 5FM.
I love that. All right, so I'm going to put some oil in there as well.
Sure, why not?
Go for it. Come.
I'm sure I've seen like grandmas doing it like this.
Yes. You got to get that personal touch.
Yeah, I very much have, yeah.
Come, let's go, Nick.
Okay, all right.
And then I'm going to pour some charcoal.
Add the charcoal in there. What you really
like-
want to do is get it nice.
That's
mixed.
it. Okay, so while Nick is going on there, I've got the onions going on here. I've got a little bit of cream as well because we're making a creamy mushroom sauce. Mushrooms are going to go in there as well. All right.
Do you think for a bit of extra flavor if I just
Ooh, look at you.
added that in there?
It's like the boogeyman coming out.
I'm going to watch this quickly.
Go for it. Some garlic. I like to put the garlic in right a little bit later because, I mean, I don't want it to burn or get bitter, and some nice fresh herbs as well. And that is the basis for our sauce. So you're doing all right there, Nick? Yeah. Okay. So that's just going to cook down a little bit. And now...
Look how perfectly this turned out. Wow.
What a job. You even had time to wrap it.
Pretty cool, right?
That's pretty cool. I mean, so we want to make sure that you give it a bit of a dusting of flour on the surface.
Yeah, I'm nearly there.
What are you looking for?
A cloth. Yeah. Oh, thank you. You're the best.
I've got you. While you do that, I mean, of course, what we're busy making right now. I mean, it is absolutely delicious. But I mean, in terms of the color as well, it just screams elegance as well. And I mean, this is a unique black pasta offering tantalizing fusion of flavors, mirroring Plascon's charcoal Rhine Castle hue. That's what we're doing it for. And I mean, we can really talk about how this colors and textures of the dish mirror that warm and earthy tones of the Savannah palette, creating this rather eye-catching and palate-pleasing experience.
Oh, yes.
If you look at our final product over there. Now, I've never actually used one of these.
Oh, great. No, me neither.
Okay, good. So we're going to put it on first.
Right, okay. And then I think I'm just going to sort of...
We're going to feed it through.
Go like that, right?
Yes, and I'll catch it on this side. Oh, look at that. Give it a bit of a more dusting there. Ooh. Of some flour.
That's what you want, right?
That's what you want. All right. And we'll do it on this side as well.
And then do we put it through the same level again, or do we change levels?
We changed levels now. We're going to go to number 2.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Have you got it?
Got it.
Look at that. Nicely
Oh, that's good
done.
stuff.
So, of course, if you don't have one of these fancy machines, you can, with a normal roller, you can roll it out and you can cut it. Are we going to do it one more time?
One more little dust, yeah?
All right.
You've got it. And then are we going to move this again to number 4?
I moved it already.
Okay.
So here we go.
Let's go.
Catch it. Catch it. There we go. Nicely. Look at you. And there we have it.
Hey?
Look at that.
That's pretty amazing,
That's pretty much it. Okay, so basically that's how you make it. Then you'll cut it into strips and you have this beautiful pasta. Now it's just all about assembling. So we have our chicken on this side. We're going to just grill that. We have a final one there. But as you can see, beautifully spiced as well. There's that sizzle that we are looking for, working with that beautiful colors. All right, my friends, so what we can do so long, we can start assembling it. So if you can dish us a little bit of pasta into our bowl there.
You just get rid of my eggs.
There we go. You're such a neat kind of person to have in the kitchen.
Have you been watching me?
I have been watching.
Neat is the word that you're going to go with. I'm sure there are serving spoons, but I like to keep it organic, you know.
There we go. All right. Yeah? And then once the sauce is ready, obviously we'll just plate it. And then we have our chicken that we're just cutting into strips.
Are you still
Do you
doing
think we should dish some of this? It's not 100% ready yet, though.
I will eat it
Will you
for the
eat
sake
it?
of television. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll give it a good go.
1 second, let's turn that.
Okay.
Fantastic. I mean, this is definitely one of those multi-layered recipes that you can definitely try at your own spaces at home. So to get your hands on this delicious recipe, you can head on over to our website, expressoshow.com. It's all there for you with the ingredients. And also remember, Plascon are giving you the opportunity to claim your share of 10 million Rand worth of prizes. It's a big, big spend. Now, to enter, simply spend 1,500 Rand or more on the Plascon products. Upload your till slip to plasconrewards.co.com and follow the easy steps and choose from 5 amazing voucher options. And there is more. There's definitely a lot more. We always bring you a little bit more. You'll also be automatically entered into their fortnight draw where you could win one of 7 inverters valued at 10,000 Rand each. We know how valuable they are nowadays. This competition closes on Saturday, the 30th of September, and those T's and C's can be found on their website, plascon.co.za. All right, my friend, that is
good,
it.
brother.
So
Okay.
we're just going to plate this together, and then we'll have a beautiful dish like that. Expressoshow.com, that's where you can find the recipe. All right, come on, dude, bring it over here.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
When the
Let's go.
cracks start to show, our strength and resilience is legendary. Mycotex, strong enough to endure anything.
Do it like this. Get it, move it, own it. Do it like this.
Bespoke.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked as we turn our attention to the powerful forces of nature that have recently reshaped our coastal landscapes with spectacular effect. Now, the spring tide, a phenomenon known for its awe-inspiring beauty on one hand, has taken a very destructive turn, as you can see on social media, leaving a trail of damage and unfortunately tragedy along our eastern and western Cape shores. As we grapple with the aftermath of this very natural event, we are joined by Craig Lambinon, the spokesperson for the incredible National Sea Rescue Institute, or known as the NSRI, to shed some light on the extent of the damage and the response efforts. Craig, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for doing your job, first of all. It really does get added impetus over these times. We have seen some incredible visuals of the power of nature, especially along the eastern and western Cape coastlines. Can you talk us through the extent, the severity of what we are seeing?
Yeah, so as you can see from all of the videos that have been posted on social media, a lot of people may feel that they were caught unawares because the storm surge went to breach places that aren't normally breached, even in an abnormally high tide. You see on social media how vehicles are literally floating in water in car parks. People being swept away or swept across from their porches. So it has been something quite phenomenal. But we must say we commend the South African Weather Services for the alerts that they put out. It was predicted that this cold front, the gale force winds and rough sea conditions would impact everywhere from Alexander Bay on the west coast all the way around to north of KwaZulu-Natal. So it's something we were ready for it. Some of our rescue stations have been affected by this. We're busy with mopping up operations this morning, but we can commend everybody for being on a high alert, ready to respond to emergencies, NSR volunteers, and obviously the emergency services and the police, who really did a phenomenal job in keeping people safe. Sadly, there has been loss of life and there have been some injuries, but we can commend everybody for limiting that. But our condolences and thoughts are with the family who have lost a loved one because of this weather phenomenon.
Yeah, and we certainly echo those words. Our thoughts and prayers do go out to all those affected at the more extreme end of the scale. And certainly when loss of life comes to bear, it really does drive home the necessity of being prepared and having organizations linked together in the way that you are right now. So that being said, let's lean on this network right now. I know that there are still areas that could experience extreme weather right now. What are those hotspots? What are the areas where people need to be extra careful and to shore up their response efforts?
So this stage right now, as we speak, Richards Bay is still affected. So that weather front has moved up towards Richards Bay, as was forecast by the South African Weather Service. Alkenstrand and Palm Beach were affected last night, and we're still seeing some rough sea conditions in the Richards Bay area. We are continuing to appeal to the public to be cautious around the coastline. That's including the high tide that you can expect late this afternoon. So building up towards high tide, we're still experiencing the tail end of the spring tide, and brought together with the storm conditions that we've experienced and the rough sea conditions that are still at sea or deep sea. You can still expect some effect around the coastline, but it's not going to be anything, as far as we understand, like what we've seen over this weekend.
Yeah, I know this was a perfect storm, to use that cliche, but a lot of different elements combining at the same time, very much like your response efforts. I know that you are working kind of in real time, dealing with the aftermath, but also being prepared for what could be happening and what is happening right now. So how do those response efforts, what do they look like, and what support do you need?
Yeah, so at this stage, it's really the disaster risk management and municipalities around the coastline that are dealing with damage to properties, damage to people's assets, erosion of sand dunes around the coastline, erosion of roadways or roadways that have been affected, bridges that have been affected. So that they are well prepared for this. NSRI and the emergency services, we have the luxury of being on high alert 24 hours
All the
a day,
time.
every day of the year. So it's pretty much, it's nothing unusual for us. When the call comes, we're ready to respond, and it's a massive communication network and cooperation between all of the services. Just to give you one example, with the Gordons Bay on Saturday afternoon, that was the first real indication that we got of what we could expect, and that was a massive response. But only 3 services were physically on the scene, and was actually 4 if you include the Gordons Bay Community Neighbourhood Watch, GB Med Security Ambulance Services, NSRI Gordons Bay, and the police. Now, there was a massive response backing them up that were on their way, and that's Western Cape Government Health, EMS, Fire and Rescue Services, law enforcement.
Brilliant.
Even the SkyMed rescue helicopter that was on a high alert to respond, but they all slowed down their response as it became clearer that there were no injuries, and they all returned to base. But it just goes to show the cooperation we have and the communication that we have between all of these services. That is, we can be really proud as South Africans to have this kind of emergency services. Even the private ambulance services are involved in this.
I love it, Craig. It's not our first rodeo.
Proud of that.
Yeah, no, I love the fact.
100%.
Yeah, I'm going to thank you for the work that you do. So we're breaking up a little bit there. But Craig, I understand that you guys literally put your lives on the line. But the fact that we are prepared as a unit, as a network to be able to deal with these, thank you so much to Craig and all of the emergency services, everyone working on a municipal level. Thank you for your response. I would suggest, as a fellow South African, maybe look for people who need help in that sense. But in terms of the emergency services, stay connected to the weather service first so we can be forewarned about more of these weather occurrences. But great to see our emergency services working together like this. Thank you, Craig.
Oh, thanks, G-Man. Well, listen, we have the 5 Drive team with us, and we cannot let them leave our studios without testing their knowledge just to see how much of South Africa they know. So what's going to happen now is, for this game, we're going to split the 5 Drive team into 2 groups, one versus the other. So I feel the way you're seated, Nick, Yonaka, we can make the 2 of you together. Nadia, Jude, the 2 of you together. So group 1, group 2. Ready?
Yes.
Now, in order to identify each group, can I ask for a sound for group 1?
Shout out to Yonaka. This was her idea. Very South African. We're going to be hardy-does. We're not sure how that's going to sound, but it's something kind of like...
Okay, we got that. Okay, so we got Hardy Does and Team 2?
We also, inspired by South Africa, I was going to, inspired by load shedding, so it's going to sound like zoom.
I love that. Love. Okay, Team 1 versus Team 2. Are you ready? If you know the answer, make your sound. Question number 1. What is the national flower of South Africa? Okay, I need help. It sounded like the Hardy Does first.
If we all say it,
Okay.
Sure, fine,
maybe we can make it equal. Okay, there's some camaraderie. In 3, 2, 1, name your answer. 3, 2, 1.
Protea.
Perfect. I'll accept. King Protea. Correct. Question number 2. How many official languages does South Africa have? I heard the Hardy Does first.
Yes, we've got 12 now.
12.
Yes.
Can you name them?
Yes.
English, Afrikaans, yeah?
You start.
English, Afrikaans, Sesotho, Setswana, you want to...
Sepedi, Sizulu, Sixhosa, Siswati, Sindebele, Sitsonga, Chivenda, and sign language.
Sign language.
There we go. Look at them. Okay. So 1 point each, 2 points for the Hardy Dahs. I'm now calling you the Hardy Dahs. Sorry. Okay, next question. Name 3 traditional South African dishes.
We need a louder sound.
You need a louder sound.
Maybe we can all give it to them.
So I can see you.
We 100% both have answers here, so we'll...
So...
They can take it?
How about you each give me a traditional dish?
Okay, I can mohodu, mopani worms, and chicken livers.
Okay.
I'd give you bobotie. I think that you have to count things like street foods as well, so I'm going to go Quota and Gatsby.
Do you guys want to add?
Peppermint crisp counts.
Yes, we'll claim that.
Milk tart. I'm going to go with the dessert side. Malva pudding is South African. And was going to say Gatsby, but...
Bunny chow.
Bunny chow, there we
Bunny
go.
chow. Well, if you wanted to stick to the dessert, there's koeksister and koeksister.
Yes. It's a very intense debate and difference as well.
Very intense. Now, the next one, I might hop to Google to check the answer, but our next question, have your sounds ready, teams. Name 3 UNESCO World Heritage Sites in South Africa. Take a
Table
guess.
Mountain.
It falls part of a bigger...
Table Mountain Nature Reserve. The Cape Nature
The
Reserve.
Cape Floral
Cape
Kingdom.
Floral Kingdom, yeah.
Yeah, we'll give you that point.
Sure. I think I shouldn't have had.
Well, I'll give you hints. I mean, it's part of South Africa, but it's like people think they go overseas when they go there.
Cape Town.
Robben Island.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Any others?
Third one. Yeah, where is
There's one in Joburg, well, Gauteng, Cradle of Humankind.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
There are quite a few. It's really interesting. I didn't know all of them either. So, so there we go. Google UNESCO World Heritage Sites in South Africa. Now, our next question is, what is the name of the coastal town in the Eastern Cape renowned for hosting one of the world's highest commercial bungee jumps?
Zoo. So the coastal town, or is Blokran's
Yes. That's
bridge?
the answer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the answer. That's the answer. Well done. Let's do one more question. Our next question for you is, and this is quite an easy one. Name the place often falsely considered to be the southern tip of Africa. I heard load shedding.
The Cape, what's it? The Cape...
You close.
Cape of Good Hope?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it isn't.
That's not right. Cape Point, isn't it?
Well, people falsely... Yeah, well, that's the same area. People think that's the most southern...
Tip.
Yeah. I think it's a tie. I can't split the
agree
team.
that we won.
I also think we won.
We all win.
Hardy does versus load shedding. Well, that's a wrap up of your exciting South African trivia game. And the adventures of the 5 Drive Heritage Tour 2023 is continuing. You can listen in on their adventures on 5FM weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Oh, it's so great to have you all here. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
It's part of your show. We really appreciate it.
Oh, well, all the best on the next journey, the next destination.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Crouch, touch, but don't you dare pause. Because when you buy any of our favorite Clover products, keep the till slip handy and catch the Expresso breakfast show every weekday morning for more details on how to enter. While the Boks are battling for rugby's greatest prize, you can win your share of 80,000 rands worth of Weber Prize. So engage and win with rugby's greatest moments, brought to you with love by Clover.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to our little slice of heaven here that looks even better with our little carpet and, of course, adorned with all sorts of amazing instruments and one super talented musician. Bason Las has already blown us away with an amazing performance, so thank you so much for that. He's just a young kid from the Northwest, grew up on a farm, and is now greeting the world with this talent, man. Is it weird to think of where you started? And if you think of the kid that you were growing up on a farm, which I would imagine is a very different life to this crazy old world, did you have that dream back then of anything like this?
No, not at all. I think it really started only in 2014. So when I was still in primary school, it was all about going to school, coming back, playing with your friends,
Mischief.
shooting some pigeons,
Yes.
and. You know,
But you're not allowed to do anymore. You could do that back then, you can't do it anymore. No, but I love that because it is. We start as kids, and that's where the material is actually born, is in the life experience, in these moments, in the trauma.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of that over the last few years. Everyone has been affected. With the writing, because it seems to have changed for most of the singer-songwriters that I've been lucky enough to connect with on this amazing little slice of stage, it seems to carry a different weight now. Where does the writing come from? Because clearly you're comfortable on the guitar, the voice is beautiful, but there's a wordsmithing going on here that's almost poetic.
Yeah.
Have you always been a good writer, or is that something that came with the music, or how did those two things blend?
I just think, when I started writing my first songs in 2009, when I was ending high school, it really was a trial and error process. I had quotes, I had all sorts of things
Points
that
of
came to my
inspiration,
mind, and writing those down in my little Croxley, notebook. It's weird to say what exactly inspires each song, because I think sometimes you just build a song like building a Lego.
Yeah, but I suppose it's like learning to write in a new language, and you become more and more fluent in that, and you tap into your emotion. And I think for us, it just feels different because our emotions are different now, and we connect to what I think you guys help us work out all of our stuff, which is an amazing thing. That being said, what are we working through with Tall? You're going to perform that next. What informs the song?
So Tall was a song that I wrote for my wife, and I thought of including this in my debut EP because Tall is actually one of the most recent songs that I've written. The other songs, Guardian Angel and Strangers and Tightly Bound, are all sort of old, if I can, if you want to call it that.
The OGs.
So I felt Tall had to be included because this is actually a fairly new tune, and it's
And your wife demands it, man. She's got to have it a little bit. What's your wife's name?
Louise.
Louise, this one's for you, honey. Well, it's for all of us, but mainly for you. Thank you so much for blessing us with your talents. I think we have gotten on board your train at just the right time, my friend, because it is going one way. And if you want to understand what I mean, just take this in. This one is going out to Louise. It is Tall, courtesy of Bason Las. Enjoy.
And I wish that I could see you once again, turning the light on you, illuminate your face. We listen to the songs we like to sing, crack a window open, air flowing. If the sun will rise and the sun will fall, but honey, I am compelled to always stand up tall. And the evil one is knocking at my door, and I trip and fall every second, while you and me, we're rolling on the floor, passionately devoted to the core. If the sun will rise and the sun will fall, honey, I am compelled to always stand up tall. But honey, I am compelled to always stand up tall. Honey, I am compelled to always stand up tall. But when the rivers all run dry, and there comes a day without you, and the sun puts its job in the dead of the night, just step into the light and trust those feet to find you.
Another feel-good production.
Joining us on our Expresso stage for one final performance is the talented musician Bason Lars. I love that you've been here with us throughout the morning and we're getting to know you a little bit better. But let's talk about some of the work you've done. I know you've recently worked with Werner Katz on your latest EP. Yeah. What was that process like for you, and are there any future work endeavors together?
Absolutely. You know, working with Werner was such a nice experience. I can't even put it in words. He's a fantastic and friendly guy, and he's multi-instrumentally talented. I can say. We've been working on this, you know, these 4 first tracks to you know, do the EP as a debut, but I think definitely we're going to do some other songs as well. I've got a few more in my pocket. And yeah, I think it was just a massive first for me as well, getting to know a studio environment as well, and it was fun.
Oh, I love that. And you know what, you say multi-instrument, that he's very talented, but look at yourself, you've even got the bells on the foot. When did you realize you can add more instruments to play all at once?
Sure, well, first of all, I don't have a band yet. So
You're a one-man band.
I just figured I'll have my kick and tambour as long as it's necessary. But yeah, I don't know. It's makeshift.
Oh, I think it's flippin' awesome. I love that you've got it there. Yeah. So the year is rearing to an end at an incredible speed. Anything we can look out for, or perhaps, you know, where can we stay in touch to make sure anything new that comes about, we can be in touch?
Well, so I'll definitely be looking on trying my best at touring the coast this December. So yeah, I suppose I can just tell people to look out for my socials and see whatever is up next.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Bason, it's been incredible having you here, and you're about to perform the song that's off your EP, Tightly Bound. Can you give us some insight to what this song is about?
So Tightly Bound was the single for this EP. It came out a few weeks before, and it's very, very upbeat tune, basically for reminding the listener that everything has a silver lining, and yeah, it's a feel-good song, sort of like coming out of this fever dream that I imagined having, and yeah.
Oh, well, listen, you're at the right place, because this is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We are here for those feel-good songs, and on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, we have Bason Lars with his track, Tightly Bound.
Take me to the valley of the shadow of death, to the leaves surrounded by the thickest thorns you get. Earth is feeling crusty and gold beneath my feet. The thumping sound of fiery dragons, creatures and flying daggers. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's get out of here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let us bury our fears. Face the drought. You will eventually sprout. Deeper in the forest, I take time to recollect. I count the fingers that I haven't burned yet. Seeking you shall find, but seek the things you need. Stop being so melodramatic and make things more cinematic. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's get out of here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let us bury our fears. Face the drought. You will eventually sprout. Cautiously approaching a neutral peace of mind. Gone are the things that always seem to have us blind. No sowing with tears for you to reap with joy. I see your house by the river, mountains, and coldish weather. When your hands are tightly bound, and there's a shadow that shrouds, just hang on tight and be rewarded with light. When your hands are tightly bound, and there's a shadow that shrouds, just hang on tight.